We're live. Carpets and Coffee number 60. 60. We weren't here last week,
No,
but we're here this
not
week.
happen.
And we got the Macabookie with us.
That is the official greeting. Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't help but think you're a Viking every time you're drinking that Stein.
It's not a
beard is
horn.
all
It's
there,
just
you're
a
like,
grog, you know?
You
Listen.
should get some horns. They're awesome.
Listen.
I've got two.
Riley has a horn.
Listen,
oh,
I
yeah,
have two of them.
horns.
I got a bigger one that'll hold like 3 beers in
I
it now
sit
too.
on my throne with my wolf. He's not here.
Rep Brandon.
But, you know,
Wolf.
and then drink my grog. It's fine.
What's up, everyone in the chat?
Lucas's
are
wolf
going
is
to-
jealous.
Lucas's wolf is way better behaved than mine, so Lucas's wolf wins.
We should all be jealous of Lucas. He has some exceptional
Yeah,
good news
Lucas
today.
has got shit going on.
Today is the greatest day of my life. First, I woke up at 4 a.m. and realized the Obi-Wan show was out. Downloaded
Yes.
both episodes onto my phone so I could watch them at work. Second, got out of work early.
None of your
2
employers
hours
are listening.
early.
All you did was watch Obi-Wan, and then you left. Yeah, okay.
Well, that only
Other
took
stuff,
like an
too,
hour
but-
and a half of my day. All right, and then I got out early, and I came home, and today's day 30, post prelay shed for the Western Blackhead, and as you guys know, because I kept freaking out in the chat, I was watching her. I put a little ring camera in the cage, and I was sitting in the little office, like watching the feed, and she
Two
was-
things. Yeah.
he was in there just like writhing around the way they do right when they're getting ready
ready.
to squish
Yep.
them out. So pinch a few off, if you will. Pooping eggs.
I was gonna say that
and
means
then-
something different where I'm from.
Yeah, and then I got home 2 hours early because the construction workers were like 3-day weekend. F this, and then Modelo time. So then we all left, and I came inside just in time to see the first egg plop out of the cloaca. And-
What time was this? Because I did hear a high pitched squealing noise all the way out here in
There was a
Pennsylvania.
7.5 earthquake when
Yeah, something like that. So I felt everything. Yeah.
she's still laying. The 6th egg is 3/4 of the way out, and I think there's only a couple more. So by the hour mark or so, might have to just pull them on camera.
I shall name them Mac and Wookie 1 through 6.
But yeah, not a bad day. The Obi-Wan show's good too.
Shut
Is
up.
it?
I haven't watched it. Shut up.
I'm not gonna. No spoilers.
Shut
I'm
up.
not that guy.
I will banish you from everything. You will be fired. Not this fun fake fired, real fired.
Good. So anyway, Western Blackheads.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's gonna be
It's
that's an accomplishment, man. That's awesome.
yeah.
I didn't think it would happen this year. I really didn't. You know, they got flown across the country in November. And they
Yeah, that's
pulled it
right.
off.
I remember that. Yeah.
As adults.
Aren't you glad you pulled that trigger? Because I know you were kind of on the fence about that a little bit.
Well, I knew the animals were in great shape with a great keeper in Dan. I wasn't worried about that, you know, quality wise in terms of how well they'd been cared for. But the male is 21 years old.
Jesus.
The male is almost as old as me.
Wow.
So,
When you say it like that.
you know, that was the only concern.
it.
But oh, somebody get on it.
Stop it.
It's a great idea.
Yes.
You could etch them in.
This is my Carpet Fest grog. So, like, you can.
This is
Yeah.
my Lagunitas.
No. We haven't done
This
that
is
part
my
of the thing.
coffee.
But yeah,
So that's awesome, man. That's really
Yeah.
friggin' awesome.
pretty amazing. And
So people should email you when they want to get on the list of babies right now, being that they're eggs. Like, yeah. Hey, I know it just came out of its mother, but can I buy it?
Anybody that messages me asking to be on a list or if they can put down a payment, I will simply be responding with the emoji of the demon face mask.
Put down a payment.
Put down a payment.
Damn it.
Well, except Eric. Eric drives a hard bargain.
Eric has special Podfather like privileges.
Yeah,
He will make you an offer you cannot refuse.
He sure
That is
did.
usually how that goes.
He
Yeah.
sure
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
Plus, I just want him to have it.
That's awesome,
you,
man. What?
You don't have a blackhead right now, do you, Eric?
I don't. No,
Mm.
I had
Yeah.
one before. I had
Yeah.
I had some from Derek, and
Mhm.
what happened? So it was a poor feeder,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why he sort of sent it to me just to sort of try him out.
Damn it, Alan.
Send an email.
I'm laughing at. So you didn't want this clutch of Kim's?
I mean,
Keep your Aussie indigos.
well, I'm trying to enjoy the high right now, but I also have
keep
to
your
keep in
funny
mind
looking
that
womas. Like
They
it's
need to hatch,
Yes.
and getting eggs is not necessarily the hardest
that
part,
is step 1 of 12. Like it
especially
is
for this species. Riley and I,
Yes.
saw this last year
Mm.
with the project there. So, in this case, the eggs look a lot better than those ones did last year. There's no boob egg situation.
But it is still dead.
But it's still
one.
like it, so-
Exactly. Yeah. Mm.
I've been,
What's the
reaching
size
out
difference?
to.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh,
You're
well, I
reaching
have
out-
to
no, no,
measure
no.
them at some point. They're
Go ahead.
huge. But I was gonna say I've been reaching out to folks, picking brains on people that hatch these suckers out.
Ostrich.
And I am kind of combining a lot of different methodologies into what I'm trying, but the gist of it is pretty dang dry, not a lot of moisture, and
I mean, you're a scientist. You're gonna have to measure
Don't
every
frickin'
single
mess
part
with
of this egg. Like this, we're gonna have like a 3D image of this little fucker.
I mean,
So
Derek said no water at all.
Yeah.
really,
Other folks say just a little water, and then other
And
folks say it's the same. Just do what you usually do.
I mean,
So
we
I'm
also-
doing somewhere in between all that.
I mean, we can also talk about how like I got pine snakes this morning, and I'm like, cool. And then Lucas came in from nowhere and just cracked me over the head. And he's like, "Fuck you blackheads!" And then it's like, all right,
I
yeah,
like
all right.
pine snakes.
Oh, they were
We'll talk
pine
about
snakes?
pine snakes.
What?
They were pine snakes?
Yeah, I got northern pines this morning.
Congratulations, Owen.
Aren't they super rare too?
No,
Oh.
no, they're everywhere. It doesn't matter. He's got blackheads.
Okay.
I was riding my bike and he hit me with a Ferrari. Like that's what happened.
I'm pretty stoked, but I'm gonna try to do.
You went away from
Maternal
the microphone.
information?
We can't hear you.
I'm
Oh.
gonna try to do. It's a pretty thick layer of perlite. Like I said, it's not very, very wet, but there's a small amount of moisture in there. And then borrowing from Riley and Grant's Aspideites technique that I've seen work, there's that layer of polyfill.
Really?
So the stuff they put inside stuffed animals, it's a
or in their
synthetic-
shipping boxes, which was just annoying.
I
nice.
have a massive box of it, and I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's like
I
a little
gotta-
cloud, but it's not moisture wicking.
Exactly.
I
which
go to
is-
unpack a box from Riley, and it's just like, oh god, and it's just all in my car. I just want to get to the snake. What is this shit? Yeah,
It's reusable. Reuse that. Reuse the cryo packs. Save it all. The cryo packs are like $7 or $8 a piece. Save them.
Yes, and then
so
we've got the
don't
light
don't
diffuser
throw it
crate
out. Is what you're telling
and
me.
2 colubrid
Correct.
jelly cups.
I've made a mistake. Is what you're telling me.
Dude, those cryo packs are expensive, man.
Not the cryo packs. I saved those. The stuffed animal guts.
Oh
I
well,
dropped.
yeah, whatever. That's
I'm
so
pretty
cheap.
sure you just went to the dollar store, grabbed a bunch of a teddy bear, and gutted it into my box.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. My fiance and
Yeah.
her work, they were cleaning out some storage at the zoo, and there was a big 20 or like 40-pound box of it, and they just brought it home. And I was like, sweet.
See.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Nope.
All right. Cool stuff. This is when I get
Egg
super
number
jealous of
6
you
is
guys.
out.
Shit.
Get play-by-play of this blackhead doing
Dude,
its thing.
they are
Yeah.
almost the size of this beer can. They're freaking huge.
So
Yeah.
for our listeners who are just listening to this in podcast form, we're going to apologize in advance for Lucas randomly interjecting and screaming throughout the show, going number 7
and going really far away and then coming really back to the slide back to the blackhead. And he's like, oh no. Oh my god, it's another one. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be like
yeah.
the Jim Carrey.
He's basically just become a hamster on speed.
Sorry,
So-
guys. This is really exciting for me.
We're just busting your chops. We're happy for you.
took
I
out
have to
the
live
dad
vicariously
to be
through
like,
you, so
"Look,
I don't
you
breed
did it."
pythons anymore. Apparently,
No, you
Yeah.
don't.
so yeah.
I took
No.
out
Yeah.
the dad, and he bit me in the finger.
Well,
What?
Why were you touching him? What did he have to do with this?
I was just like,
Look, it's your
congratulations.
babies. Like, no,
Yeah.
he
Giving
doesn't
him a
need to
good
be
pat
here.
on the back.
Well, I
job,
was
buddy.
rewarding him with some free roaming time.
He does not need to be involved
right
anymore.
back.
It's done. We got the eggs. He can fuck off.
I also breed mice now.
Yeah. Why?
Well, I can't say that yet. They haven't done anything.
Oh, well, give it a week.
But
So
yeah.
am I the only one now not breeding rodents on this podcast?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't breed
Riley,
rodents.
you do
I
at
will,
work
yeah.
though.
Well, Nate,
I
do you
don't
breed
know.
rodents
That
at
doesn't
work,
count.
Riley?
that doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
They're not
No,
mine.
no.
Do
I
you
mean,
have to breed
in your
rodents?
house.
Yeah.
Not at my house.
Yeah. Whatever. Yes, I have a cage of mice that were slated for feeders, and then I found out that they were 1.2, and they started just having babies. And this is now my third litter of mice that I let grow up to fuzzies and freeze
Yep.
them. I almost have a full bag at this point.
So
Like,
Right.
in my freezer.
I will say, whenever I get into a house, if there is a cat-proof area to do so, I will probably do
One cage is really,
one thing of mice.
Yeah, one cage. It sucks. I hate it. They smell. I hate them. But one cage, like they're producing, like they're having like a little litter or whatever every 2 weeks.
I would do 2 cages and just raise all the babies up to hoppers and then whack them as hoppers and freeze them up because that's the size I feed the most for young carpets. So I would do it just to fill the freezer in the off season. I would just keep breeding, and let moms have their litters, move them off as soon as they're hoppers, freeze them, and there you
Well,
go.
what's funny is because I have the 2 girls, so they'll both take care of the pinkies, which is
Mhm.
weird. But once the pinkies get to that fuzzy kind of thing, one of the other females is like giant pregnant. So then
Yeah,
you kill off that little litter, and then a couple days later, there's a new batch.
yeah,
Like I just got pinkies yesterday.
yeah.
So it's cool because I got some baby snakes, like the Brisbane's just hatched. I got jungles coming. I got a bunch of other stuff. And then I have all this weird shit that is potentially hitting the deck, like mad hogs and blonde hogs and rhinos and all that other crap. So having live food
Yeah.
would be useful for some stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's an opportunity. So you're right. Same thing. I just keep filling that bag, and it's like this was kind of almost like a blessing in disguise. If she's gonna keep making me food, I'm gonna keep them around.
Yeah.
Like if they stop, then I'll feed off the adults. But I literally bought these 3 mice. I bought like 10 of them, and the other ones were fed off immediately. And then I had like 5 or 6. And then I whittled it down to these 3, which turned out to be 1 male, 2 females. And then they started having babies, and I'm like, well, all right, whatever. So
There you go.
I'd do rats too, or at least 1 cage of rats, but I don't have the space. Maybe if we get it from the house.
You're going to be doing rats pretty soon.
I just bought 2 rat
Shut up,
container
all right,
litter
'cause-
thingies.
Because well, the problem is that she likes rats
Me
and
too.
other rodents. So, because she had a couple pet rats,
Right.
so she would totally be down for that if all I did was feed the babies. It just I don't feel like dealing with any more rodents. The squirrel's got to die first, then we can worry about rats.
Look at that
The
bargain.
squirrel. Wow, the squirrel's still alive?
Unfortunately,
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
it's
I didn't think squirrels lived that long.
Oh, they can live to be. I'm glad you asked. They can live to be 20 years old in captivity.
Oh god damn.
This is an
Wow.
animal that out in the wild is like 4 months is an old ass squirrel. They 20 years in captivity. Bite me. Like, come on.
Oh, you got your work cut out for you there, my friend.
It's not my problem.
I think
Well,
on the next, I've been hard at work as you guys are talking about all these snakes that you're producing, and I think that this is going to go into the Teespring store tonight.
Shut up. Shut up.
Come on, man.
Is the squirrel a male or a female? The squirrel's a boy, but he is neutered because they would not let him come from Florida, which is where Melissa was living before she moved up here, to Pennsylvania unless he was neutered, because he is officially licensed with Fish and Wildlife. Because I tried really, 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 really hard to not let the squirrel come in the house, and she went and got permission from Fish and Wildlife to bring the squirrel, and I lost that argument. So those are the lengths that my fiance will go, right? Like, to ruin me. Like, yeah, so it's, yeah.
I know how to get around this. I'll just say that it's illegal.
I'm like, listen, you can't bring it. It's a prey species. It's a hunting species. You can't do it. And she's like, I got all the licenses in Fish and Wildlife. I'm like, fuck. Okay, damn it. Like, yeah. So, yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it would be very unsettling. No.
Male intact, and it was very, really unsettling.
It's all over the place. Imagine it's a rat that can run up and down you very quickly. It's terrifying. I hate.
Do you take it out?
She does. I don't like it.
Really? She holds it?
Yeah.
You can hold it like a.
Oh yeah, it chills with her. Me, it's all over, and then it runs around and plays with the cat. I
just can't imagine being able to hold a squirrel.
I mean, come over and I'll do it. It's fine.
No,
yeah, I mean, but
No.
I find it nerve-wracking, and that's just probably because I've been bitten by every member of the raccoon family. So I don't trust mammals as far as I can throw them. So
That's my favorite fact about you.
well, I'm sorry, I have not been bitten by North American raccoons. So all the other ones, but yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I'm sorry, we went off topic a little bit.
Yeah, we did. We're talking squirrels now. It's I don't know. We're having shots. We're squirrels and shots, or what are we doing here?
No.
That's Owen's new spin-off podcast.
Well, no, it's bad enough that she wants to take my flag logo and remove the snake and put like a squirrel, and then that's what she wears places. And I've refused to allow her to do that. And yeah,
She's just gonna be able to do it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not helping. I'm not helping her. If she wants to do it, she can do it, but I'm not helping. So
that's excellent.
Lucas, stop going and checking out the blackhead.
They're so big. They're so big.
All right. Well, compared to carpet eggs, how are we talking? Like double?
No, like 3 or 4 times the jungle eggs, double the Brettles
Jesus.
eggs.
Jesus.
How are the jungle eggs doing? Good?
Yeah, they all look good. They all have really nice veins, and should be in the next couple weeks, I think, for those guys.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I've got the 2 Brettles in prelay shed at the moment, so
Cool.
Nice.
plugging along.
Who cares about Brettles when you have blackheads?
These are the coolest things I'm gonna hatch. Fuck this! Like it's like, no.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Oh, that's
Yeah, cut open all the eggs. That you will be baby blackhead food. And like,
I need you for the blackhead.
I need you.
No,
Oh my god.
no, Lucas,
Yeah.
no.
Again, need them to actually hatch, but
yeah. Awesome. Okay. Riley, you've hatched out some pretty cool stuff as well recently.
Recently, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
that you're not allowed to show anymore. God damn it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
My third clutch is most of the way out right now. So I had one of the tiger hat pairings hatch out, and then the clutch of Popwins from that super dark melanistic pair hatched out. The tiger hat pair was 15 eggs. There was one egg that had twins.
Mm.
one twin was dead in the egg because it didn't form a full head. Like it looked like it had a knuckle, like its bottom jaw formed, and it was just like a head.
I've had ones that are like that, and apparently you need a head to survive as an animal. So
yeah, it tried.
Apparently.
It failed.
Go figure.
And then so the other twin is fine, just 11 grams of tiny as hell.
Yeah,
And which is funny because this is now the second clutch of twins sired by that same male from different females. So he must be the one with the twinning gene going on. And then 3 other eggs had babies like dead in the egg, kinks not fully formed, sort of thing. So I got 12 from that clutch, and then from the 13 egg pop win clutch, one baby was all twisted up in its umbilicus and dead, and then 2 were like not fully finished, developed dead in the egg. So I still got 10 out of them. So
you got more than one. It's a successful clutch. Like it's.
I mean, 10 is kind of the average for pop wing carpets, from what I can tell. So like 13 would have been huge,
but yeah.
And then the one that's hatching now is the same tiger het male to a different tiger het female. So
those are the Xanax stuff. So coastals, right?
Yeah, all coastal. So tiger het Xanax. So 8 of those babies are out, still waiting on the last 6, because that's a 14 egg clutch. And preliminary results right now, it looks like I have 1.3 Xanthic tigers.
Those are pretty.
A lot of tiger possets. So yeah,
you got some crazy stripes, man.
Yeah,
some of them are really nice. Yeah. There's a lot of variation. Some of them are kind of zigzag. There's a lot of. Well, it's funny because this Xanthic stuff comes from the Rockhampton sort of lineage from Paul Harris's stuff. And so there are, despite both parents being, some form of tiger to some degree, there are still animals that have no striping in both of these clutches, but they've got like the lateral white striping and then like the blotches on the top. And it's a very Rockhampton look.
But those are also those are the coastals that if you don't want to buy a tiger, but you want to set up a breeder that will produce tigers, those are the shit you buy, because those are some of my earliest carpets were lesser tigers.
Right.
The fun term they use for the coastal.
How dare you?
Shut up. It is history. It is is the coastals that were in tiger clutches. So doing those with tigers, you produce nothing but stripes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even then, those are some of the best animals to use in jag projects, because that's how you get that bald back all over the place.
Yes.
Who did this?
I did it.
Oh,
you will never show that to her. I swear to God, you're dead.
I'll buy it.
No.
You should get that tattooed.
No. Why? What's wrong with you?
Do you want to know the answer to that question, or you just want to get it tattooed?
Psychological analysis of both interns at this point.
The sad part is you'll find out the IQs.
And I can't help it.
There's some. You've spent too much time with this rabble. What's up with this crap? But to answer your question, where'd he go?
To design more squirrel merch.
Oh God,
where'd Eric go? What happened?
Sabotage.
Yep.
Oh, and you're responsible for this. You have a eject Eric button.
I do not have an eject Eric button. I'd use that all the time if I had it. But to answer your question, Jason, am I getting into pine snakes? I have 4. It's like getting into. They're already here. I have 4, but I think I actually have by accident. I think I have a 3.1. So.
Well, we all know you will find a way to either swap out those males for hunter flower rats, or just add more females.
Baby, yep. I'm gonna ditch. I'm probably gonna ditch the one. Herping. Yeah, I'd love to see a pine snake herping. Yes, apparently we had Mike Curtin on the show yesterday, and he was talking about this big trip down in the Pine Barrens with a bunch of people. So
Yeah, Jason. He's in the chat.
Yeah. So Mike Curtin invited me to that, so I'm probably going to show up to that because I have that entire week off for my birthday, and I wanted to go for timbers up here. But if I would not mind running around the Pine Barrens, and Mr. Curtin has extended an invitation to crash at his place the night before. So, yeah, I'll probably be down for that.
Nice.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, it would be.
Unfortunately, I'll be flying back from Arizona, so I won't be able.
I'll go herping with them on Sunday. We'll take a break, and then you and I will link up on Tuesday to go for the timber spot, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, do that. No worries.
It'll be a good birthday present for myself. So
there you go.
When's your birthday?
June 14th.
Duh.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Riley.
Raise your
We
hand.
have the
that you were
same
born on
birthday.
June 14th.
Oh, so you're both offended? Damn it. Well,
yeah. That's why I always wake up and I'm like, happy birthday, Riley. And he's like, happy birthday. Oh, this has been a stupid text message thing that's been going on for the past like 6 years. Like,
that's very wholesome.
If there was ever an NPR compound and we all found ourselves living together at any point in time, it would be a thing where you'd wake up in the morning and be sheer fucking chaos because it'd just be Owen and Riley day all week long.
It would be bad. This is why the NPR Serpentarium can never actually be a thing.
What?
Because on June 14th, it would just be
Nerf guns, water balloons,
Young the non-believer,
whipped cream pie, like balloons hanging where I could sabotage.
Okay,
and
so you two are going to be
This
the only ones
explains a
doing
lot,
that, though.
Lucas.
Me and Eric are just going to be sitting down like, what the hell is going on?
What are they doing?
I'm gonna
have my acting up again.
I haven't
I'm
had
gonna have my
coffee
fiance
for this yet.
I'm gonna have my fiance knit Archie. Is it Archie the squirrel?
His name is Archer. Thank you
Archer.
very much.
I'm gonna
He's
have
only Archie to his friends. Lucas, get back here. Stop trekking on the goddamn blackhead.
I plan on being his friend when I have my fiance knit him a squirrel battle vest, and then when it comes to, we'll get him his own little squirt gun, and he can run around and squirt people.
How are you going to teach him to pull a trigger? They don't have thumbs.
I'll listen.
I'll
let
make
him do
something.
That. Yeah.
I
will let him attempt to train the squirrel because it's enrichment for both. Riley,
this is where Bigfoot
Riley
comes.
and the squirrel. I'll write it down.
Oh, enrichment. What a mammal thing to say.
Whoa, somebody else is offended.
I'm just kidding. I'm making fun of other people.
Holier
I
than now.
believe
Like
in enrichment. I'm kidding.
Speaking of enrichment, somebody commented on one of like my videos or something online and was like, how do you give them enrichment in racks? And it was like a clear like dog and stab, and I was like, oh, and I listed off all the different items I use.
You can do a lot.
Shut up. I was just like, bye.
A box.
Was there any comment after that?
No, she shut up.
No.
How do you give them enrichment in a rack? Same way you do it in a cage. It just
a box is a box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A box is a box, whether it's a plastic tub in a rack or a bigger box. Like it's still a box. Yeah.
Although you know
that
what
was
I
sort
will
of the
say?
end of our conversation with Mike.
Yeah.
Was just it's just a snake in a box.
It's just a snake in a
We're
box.
going through all these things, and it's just like, it's just a snake in a box.
Those big Christmas tub ones, though, man, those things are deep. You got to really pull those things out. Alan's got one of those. Man, you got to be on like a step ladder for the top one and pull that sucker out like 4 feet.
If I had the room, I would do those for my male carpets because I think that would be. I think it would be cooler. Number one, number two, I think it would like actually give them more stuff to do. Like I could put perching and crap in there, and also I wouldn't open it up and constantly just get the snake that whips around and bleeds me like immediately as I'm like slowly opening this bin. So it would be cool. If that's the upgrade for the new snake building when I get a new house when that happens. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah.
I feel so motivated now.
As you should be.
I'm ready to crush things. Where's my Viking horn? I need one.
Listen. Viking. No, it's
when you get an NPR Viking horn and then I'm gonna get her a squirrel Viking horn with the.
Why would you do this? What?
We'll print out a stencil for the logo, and then we'll just etch it into a horn.
I'm not a
Yeah.
The issue
Like a
is
Dremel
that-
tool.
The
Just
issue is that the 3 people on this call all have my address and can easily send things to me.
Yeah.
And that is
Uh-huh.
dangerous. Also, the 3 people on this call have been invited or are participating in my wedding and could easily make wedding gifts that could become an issue later.
Ready?
So,
Yeah.
But would any of us do that?
yes, every single one of you. Yeah, in a heartbeat. I don't have friends. I have various level of trolls who just kind of go about my life to ruin it.
To be
Speaking
fair, I
of,
hadn't
you
thought
like
of
the
that until you
paperwork
said
that
that.
It
that
was
I sent you with
coming.
my
You know,
snake?
don't sit there and be like, you did this to yourself. No, it was coming. I just helped you.
Do you like the paperwork I
Grave
sent,
you drinking.
sent with your Python?
There you
Hey!
go. Hey, if it's got a rogue logo on it,
All
like the
right.
flag, I'll drink out of it at my wedding. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
As they take a swig at the same time. Hey, it did it
Yeah.
again. Me and Eric are on one side, and the bearded ones are
know.
on the other side.
Because it knows how
Exactly.
it should split down the NPR, staff.
It's the
So
Google.
incumbent.
The Google.
The algorithms
it
like
would
Yeah.
appear
these
that
two
Riley
fellas
is
are over
higher up
here.
than you.
I allow you to
Oh,
think that
You've
only
been bumped
because
down.
I like to be down here amongst the common folk.
He's
You
down in
know?
the colubrid
Either-
zone.
Colin Common.
He's down in the colubrid zone.
Yeah.
There-
Either me and Lucas are on this level, and you and Riley are on that level, or it's me and Riley on this level, and you and whichever level it is, you lose.
I only strategically plan and retreat. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Yeah, I know. You're just a lowly colubrid breeder
Owen's
anyway.
getting one clutch of carpets
Giving
this
up
year.
on pythons.
I am not getting one clutch of carpets this year.
Well,
I
you know
have-
he's a colubrid guy.
No.
Dude.
Listen.
2
I have-
clutches?
Embrace it.
No, I have 3 clutches.
3?
I have 3 clutches on the
Okay.
ground. I have
All right.
I had the Brisbanes, which just hatched.
Oh, yeah.
I got a whole 3 snakes out of. Yay. I got the jungle clutch, which I don't know if I can take credit for because Mike bred it and the female just laid at my house. So yeah.
Wait, you bred it at Mike's place, and the female
Mike
came
had
to
the
your
female.
place.
Mike,
Grab
Mike
it.
had the female, and we thought it didn't take. So she
Uh-huh.
came home and then she laid eggs. And it's like, well, all right, hell yeah. So but Mike did all that work. So
Gotcha.
her clutch is in the incubator, but then I also have a clutch of caramel tiger to super caramel jag in the incubator. So
Okay.
I have that, and then I have another clutch of ocelot to striped jungle coming. And then I have breadlie coming.
Okay.
So yes, Lucas, you have
Number
your hand
8?
raised.
7 is out.
7. Okay.
Seven,
go.
7.
I think.
So-
As I warned our audience members.
I think.
So,
sorry, is that annoying?
I
I
will
don't have
have
to do it.
several
No, please do
Morellian
it, Lucas.
Okay.
You. Keep doing you.
Yes, sir.
Period.
You.
Because it's working. It's working. Whatever you are doing is working.
What you wish for?
Hey, I'm not your girlfriend, and
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
have
ahead
to
and
live
take
with
that
you.
away right now. Like you need to not do that again.
Sorry.
But
I don't have to live with
People
you.
have told me
So
that I could be a voice actor.
who did this?
you.
He does have he does have some good voices there, Owen. When
Who's giving you dreams and aspirations? Who is doing this?
These 2 chaps on the radio
Oh,
on
again.
NPR.
All right, yeah, fine. But no, I'm gonna have some Morelli clutches, but I'm gonna have more colibri clutches already. I already do at this point
Yeah.
because I got the 3 mad hogs, the
Possible
black
fourth?
rat snakes, the Chinese king rats, and I got 1 clutch of corn snakes, and then I'm probably looking at another clutch of corn snakes, the blonde hognose, and rhino rats. So I'm gonna have like 9 clutches of colubrids this year.
Man, I might have to send you over to THP, man.
I refuse to go. You can't trade me.
Shit.
I could never trade you.
Schmitty could not handle me. It would not go
He
well.
could not.
Yeah.
No,
But
no.
But yeah, and then I'm looking down the barrel of the. I have the Ocelot clutch, the Breadlie, and then I have the Olives, and then I have 2 other maybe Python clutches. But I'm still gonna be totally eclipsed by colubrid shit. So,
Nice.
oh fucking, I got the pine snakes. Damn it, I didn't even count the pine snakes. I'm
If
gonna
you hit the
10.
one,
Mhm.
if you hit the one that you were talking about last night,
Mm.
then you could breed 15 colubrids clutches.
Doesn't
You'd
fucking
still
matter,
be-
right? Yeah.
Then you can't.
No,
Yeah,
no.
then you'll
Yeah.
you'll redeem your Python
Yeah.
breeder man
Oh,
card.
thank you.
How
You.
is-
I
without
I can
giving
get that
anything
badge
away,
back. Okay.
without giving anything away, still
Mm.
looking the way you want it to at this point.
She's a furious bitch who won't even
Oh,
let
good.
me anywhere near her cage.
Sounds perfect.
So
And
maybe
she won't eat, and I mean, like, she's hitting the glass on the other side of the room, and I'm like,
Oh.
I'm nowhere near you, and she's like,
Wow.
I'm like, all right, okay.
All right. Well, I hope it's not that glass that you usually have.
No, it isn't.
Cheer today.
No, it is not.
Hey,
Thank you,
hey.
Lucas.
New Rogue Reptiles logo idea. Oh, I was
Broken.
wearing your shirt yesterday.
Oh.
Have the flag with the snake in it, but have it broken up like broken glass.
Through a window.
I'd be fine with that. Put something on it underneath this as like one.
Hmm.
What is like
With a
1/8
retake
glass
behind
and
it.
shit. Like, yeah, it's fine.
I'll be right back.
Excuse me.
Master Wizard Eric,
I
sir.
have to go on an unrelated issue. It's okay.
Oh, that's great.
This is how you hone your skills for doing these things. You just
Trolling,
get thrown
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
a task real quick, see how fast you can.
I already
bring
said
it.
that I want a poster that just has like NPR, and then underneath it has a picture of Eric in the full Pope regalia, and the Mac and Wookiee just doing this, and that's it. Just the 2 pictures, like of them chilling next to each other, and that's the NPR poster. And see how many insane people will throw that up in their reptile room. I
would.
guarantee you many.
I would.
So,
What if the Mac and
Oh,
Wookiee was
dear,
driving the Podfather in the Pope Mobile?
Pope-mobile, sign me up, baby. Like, yeah, I think.
With the squirrel in its lap.
Oh yeah, Squirrel can be
you
co-pilot.
could go if somebody could get some kind of poster that involves the Mac and Wookiee and Eric in his full Podfather Pope regalia,
And the
I'd be fine
squirrel.
with that. You know what? Even if you want to do a Podfather where Eric's sitting at a desk like the Don Corleone, and then the Mac and Wookiee in the suit is next to him, I'd sign up for that one too. Like, yeah, but there could be many. Throw them at Riley. We'll see which ones look good.
Yeah.
Which one pops up?
Yeah, which one looks good and which
um,
one can be made a poster.
She might be done. I can't tell.
Oh, I was waiting for it.
Number 15. Like, no.
I'm gonna give it a few minutes before I pull them.
But just, I mean, you don't want to pull him immediately. You want to give her a little bit of time, because what if you pull him and she lays another one?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, just give her
You
time.
know the rules here. Come
And
on.
today's discussion will be how to have patience as a reptile keeper.
How's that going for you?
Oh, fuck, dude. Patience is a reptile keeper. That ebbs and flows as the day goes.
Depends on what's happening, you know?
Yeah, ebbs
if
and flows, man.
If there's a clutch on the ground right in front of me, kid in a candy store, man.
Well, I'm really curious to see what those 4 surviving eggs from the female that got egg bound produce, because they look disgusting.
Is that a blackhead or
No, my that super orange popping carpet that dropped 5 and then got egg bound with 9 left. I pushed those 9 out basically, palpated them out, and one of the 5 that she laid intentionally went bad. The other ones just look gross because they're kind of bloody.
That's the biggest kick in the shorts, is when you get eggs that kind of look good and then you just slowly go.
I mean,
they're
on day 51 right now, and they've held up, but they're just kind of like discolored and gross looking.
I
they should hatch, but
I mean, should hatch versus they pass their lay date. You open them up and they're all DOAs. I mean,
I might
be looking at.
I might
unfortunately.
manually pip them in a few days if I don't see anything, but we'll
Do
see.
it. See what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
that's an instance where I'm like, you should probably manually pip, just because
Yeah.
if you're incubating dead babies, it's like I'd rather know than like
Yeah.
wait until their hatch date. So,
Yeah.
oh damn,
Here we go.
Taking just
Nice.
moments to
oh
go.
damn, look at them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, sir. There
So
you go,
we're
Alex.
looking at this beautiful Western black-headed python.
I can't believe she actually laid him in the
Early
box,
whites.
guys.
Yeah, where she's supposed
Yeah.
to, because
Because
there was some talk of her doing it underneath the box.
She was
for a little
wearing the
bit.
box as a hat all of yesterday.
This seems like a good place. Please no, please don't do that. Like,
Oh boy.
God damn,
Oh,
she
baby.
is gorgeous.
Again, 2017 animal is her first clutch. So if there's 7, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And there is 7.
This
So I'm
is
happy with
no,
that.
Look, we're gonna count them. This is
One.
Rent.
What?
This is Holdback.
Yeah. That there's
This
Australia.
is New Blackhead. This is
More
Australia.
blackhead.
This is Mice and Rats.
That's
And this-
food. Yeah, it's just
And these are the two, ones that if something
Wild
goes
cards.
wrong, you have
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
know, wild cards in the.
this is investment or more snakes. Yeah.
I hope for not this, but I'm expecting to lose 1 or 2. in
Called that one
incubation.
Owen wedding present number 1 and Owen wedding present number 2.
You can have Easterns, Owen.
Damn it.
I mean,
Am I really going to be upset about that? No.
You like the bigger, angrier dudes.
No, listen, I would get the blackheads, and after a certain point, I'd be like, Lucas, these things suck. I'm sending them back. Like, because Expedites and
Wow.
myself don't get along.
That's true. Matilda knows. She's
Yeah,
right next to me.
Is that, or is that just
that-
Womas? Like, because
Okay, so I think
have
you'd like
never
blackheads a
actually
lot more.
I've
Yeah.
never actually kept
Blackheads
blackheads.
You would
exude a
like
much more
blackheads.
colubrid energy,
Okay.
in my
Ditch-
experience.
I should ditch the Crebo and just get blackheads.
Yeah, I mean
Ah.
they're like, in my opinion, they are an Australian indigo snake. You know,
The Crebo and the Blue Beauties upset me because everything else in the colubrid thing is breeding, but those two were like, I don't know. It's send my
Yeah.
Crebos to Riley, tell him to fix them.
I need a house.
Yep.
well, I'll send you a house.
Yeah, we'll send you a house too. Eric's got that.
There we go.
yeah, sure, no
Sure,
no
cool.
problem. Add it
All
to
right,
the
I
list.
keep,
Yeah, add it to the list.
if there's not an NPR logo at the bottom of your pool now that is drained and being worked on, I don't know what we're doing here. Dory
Yeah,
would be
that-
fine with it. Just do it.
Yeah, that's sort of why we're not having a carpet fest. My pool is in pieces.
Hmm.
And
Well,
there's
not
also other
pieces,
you're
but-
doing other construction on your house too. So in my Lucas, no. No, Lucas.
What is he? Oh, he's going for number
He's
8.
checking more eggs. Yeah.
I think there's another one in there.
You think you're gonna get like 8 or 9?
I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see.
That but better.
It's the beginning. Notice
That,
how
but
small
somebody
I am.
Yeah. I mean, it is accurate. So
Yeah, there you go. So we're going to talk about exantic carpets.
Whoa, Riley, is that you?
Somebody doesn't want us talking about exantic carpets.
Riley, is there a
whatever,
murder in
like,
your building?
Yeah, what's going on with your murder chamber?
It hasn't happened yet, but if they don't shut up, I'll make it happen.
Oh,
Fucking
hey,
children in your walls? What's
hey,
going on here?
No,
what's up,
the
NSA? This is a snake podcast.
kids are getting out of school, and there's a gas station next to me, and right around this time, about 40 or 50 of them all file in for candy and sodas against their parents' wills, and they all leave sugar rushed out. Go gnarly. So, but
Children
What was
in
the question?
California go to gas stations to have fun.
Gas
That's weird.
children.
Yeah.
yeah, around here,
Sugar.
around here, there's all
Well,
sorts
we
of candy.
We're going to talk about exantic carpets, and then we heard somebody screaming. So I thought maybe we shouldn't talk about exantic carpets.
It was a sign from the gods. Today's Blackhead Day.
We heard Nick yelling all the way from Washington.
No, what? So yeah.
Nick,
Yeah.
Nick.
Xanthics.
Exantic carpets.
I'm
So
I
who's
have no
all
knowledge
produced
on this one.
exantic carpets?
Then
Okay. Well, you're a smart guy. Just tag along.
No,
You'll be all
my
right.
question was going to be, what's the mode of inheritance? I'm unfamiliar.
Well,
good question.
that's what we're going to
That's the
talk
question.
about.
Oh,
Yeah.
Correct.
We're going to talk about that some more.
I'll shut up.
No,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good. I feel like we revisit it once a year for maybe the last 2 years or so.
It's like when Eric and I kind of first started NPR. Every year or so, somebody would be like, "Can we breed the Nero out of a Jag?" And we'd have to have a whole episode on how that can't happen. And please stop asking us. And
Sure.
so, like,
Yeah.
Xanax stuff, it kind of comes back around every once in a while. Of like, how does it inherit? It's like, it's tricky. It is. So,
So it was thought that
Yes.
the gene was a recessive gene, just like most exantic genes, I guess, right? Isn't
different species that
I
have
don't know about. I don't know what happens in colubrids. Do you know?
In
exants are
Crebos,
exantic?
it's recessive.
Yeah,
Recessive?
most things it's recessive.
Okay.
I'm not sure about ball python because I'm not sure if there's different lines.
Yeah,
all
Xanac.
of them in ball pythons are recessive.
all recessive.
Okay.
The VPI
So-
Xanic, right?
No one cares.
Wow.
Same
So
with
like
beluga
the-
scrubs.
Now that was unnecessary, Mr. McIntyre.
Greg doesn't like us talking about Xanac. Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Well-
his animals are so nice without any
Without
kind
the
of
Xanac,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Too.
my hat is off
Yeah.
to Craig. His animals need no mutation. They're perfect on their
No.
own.
100%.
But
So I came up as we were chatting because Riley's produced some freaking killer Xanac carpets.
Xanac
this year.
tigers. Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, amazing. And it was thought to be recessive, but I think after I'm going to say Nick and Paul was really the ones that I was exposed to that were talking about this was they were producing so much that they started to think that maybe it was a incomplete dominant gene.
Mhm.
And the reason is because the hats sort of have a predictable type of look to it. And so is it, is it something that's, is it incomplete dominant and, it's just very subtle or, is it
polygenic?
recessive?
Yeah.
I don't think it's polygenic.
I know I think they were tossing that around for a little bit, but I think that was yes, Lucas, you have your hand raised.
I have a question.
Yes,
Do we
Lucas.
know the origin story of the morph itself? Like, how was it? Where and when
Well-
did it pop out?
Well,
Okay, it's one of those.
no, Lucas, I'm glad you asked.
uh,
Yeah, lay it out, Eric.
Go ahead, Riley.
can-
You take that one.
No,
go ahead.
you are much more eloquent about it than I am.
So in the early MP days, there was a guy. I think he was from Poland, if I'm not mistaken,
yep.
and he popped out these Xantic, what he called IJs, and I guess there was some question on whether or not there was if it was pure or not. And, the whole debate ensued, and at some point they were, the backstory that's really not 100% out there.
Mhm.
So you don't really know. I guess it depends on who you talk to, but basically it was found they were, Harrisoni or whatever going to be soon. Yeah, I don't know. They have like this. So the het. And basically, Paul bred them. He bred the Xanac. The coastal one, I'm not so familiar with as far as the.
I'm
wanna
pretty
say
sure
that's
that
a
came
Swedish
through
line?
Sweden.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, I thought that was the
Yeah,
Swedish
Swedish
line. Yeah,
Yeah, that popped up in Sweden. Paul
Yeah.
got some and exported those, I believe, right?
right.
And I want to say that there's a different line in Australia they work with that's coastal carpets, and to me that's the
They also
nicest of
have
the three.
Xanthic jungles as well.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, they have pure jungle exantic lines as well. So here in the States, we have the pure IJ,
the Swedish line coastal, and then we have the Polish line IJ. Yeah,
pure coastal as well. So they are compatible.
Yes,
but they are distinct.
Yeah, you can breed an exanthic IJ to an exanthic coastal and get exanthics. I really, really wish they had not done that experiment. Like it was like we did that. Hooray!
Well, that's
it's
when.
Like, why?
Well, I think that's when the controversy kicked up again, right? Because they were trying to figure out on whether or not they were compatible, and then when they were compatible, it was sort of thought that maybe they were the same thing. So
that somebody took an exanthic IJ and bred it to a coastal, and that's how we got the coastal.
Which is, but from human nature standpoint, you can totally expect that outcome as far as somebody is going to have that hypothesis and come out and voice conspiracy theories at some point.
Right, but the problem is by doing that breeding, you give ammunition to the conspiracy theory that like everybody will talk about how Jag is somebody bred a diamond to a Brisbane, and that's how we got the Jag. And it's like, yeah, but that's not how genetics work. You can't just cross things and then make something that is inheritable the way that a Jag is inherited.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's always been the rumor, but a Jag has not popped out of a diamond to diamond breeding. If that happened, then we're like, oh fuck, then everything is all over the place. But by crossing the exanic lines, every time there's a good looking coastal exanic, they're like, oh, that clearly's got IJ blood in it, because the IJ exanics kind of have a brighter blue, kind of a better color to them, and this, that, and the other thing. So it's just kind of like you gave ammo to the rumors.
Yeah, if I was going to do, when I was doing morph products, like combinations of stuff and everything, the main thing that I was using for exantic stuff was the IJ stuff. A couple reasons. One, I heard there were some issues with the coastal stuff being inbred and some problems. And what did it take? It took, 7 years for me to produce from my exantic coastal girl? And then she died after produced the clutch.
I've been bashing my head against the wall with my exanic female for years. Like this would be her third year that she has not produced shit for me.
I have heard that the early visual females did have a hard time breeding and reproducing and had some issues.
Yeah, but it's weird because the second you add something else like caramel in it, no problem. Breed it.
Well, if you think about it from a bloodline standpoint, regardless of what's associated, as soon as you breed something that hasn't been touched by that exanthic bloodline, you are improving the genetic strength or whatever of that result. So yeah, that does make sense.
She's got one more year. I have passed through because I now have I have 4 breeding males that could go with her and produce something. Each one of them has struck out with her. I'm like, she's got one more year, and then I am calling. I'm calling it quits on the exanic project. I'm done.
Well, how about this? How about I send you some sort of a female het, a tiger het per se?
I have posset tigers that I produced myself.
Oh,
and I have one female tiger het that I have from Brian. But I would gladly take a tiger het and then bounce her out of here because I have an exanic Jag. I have another tiger head exanic male. I have a clutch of caramel head exanic shit. Oh, that's another thing that I have in the incubator that I forgot about. Damn it.
Actually, I want to see how those look, by the way. I do want to see those
will
caramel
be good
tigers.
Because they were their mother was a super caramel that I produced.
Yeah, I want to see those.
Their father was a het exanic, which we say het, but we're talking about how like the ones that carry the gene almost look exanic, but then when you double down on it, that's when they get like the bright white eyes and So
the eyes are the dead giveaway for visuals when you're doing a visual to a het pairing. Like as soon as they hatch, you can see which ones are for sure visuals. And then there's some that are like, yeah, that's probably a het. And then there's some that are like, yeah, let me see how it sheds. And then it's probably still a het anyway.
Yeah.
But then when you're doing head to head, man, the visuals are for sure again because the eyes are like chrome silver, like lit up chrome silver, not just light colored, but chrome silver. And then you get a varying degree of like the natural coastal, like almost coppery-ish to like a coppery dilute silver. And it's kind of like I don't know, it's just a range. And so some of them are like, you really got to look under the light and really just they make your head spin because some of them are tough. But to me, that completely goes against the simple recessive.
And it's weird because like I hatched 2 female Xanthics this past season that it's weird because they don't really have the eyes, but they got the body and the color. I just tossed them in the chat with you guys so you can take a look at them, but it's like they're like looking at them on anywhere else they look Xanthic, but their eyes are not the bright silver whatever, so they would probably be either low expression Xanthics or hets by terms.
Yeah, those ones are tough, man. Those are tough because to me those I would expect to prove out if they were from like a het to het pairing. I'd be like, those are probably going to prove out.
And they're from do you remember that caramel jag het Xanthic that I got from you?
Yeah.
Riley.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're her kids crossed with one of my het Xanthics. So it was a het to het.
Okay. Yeah. So then that thing's probably going to prove out.
Yeah. I mean, and they don't look like you line them up next to another normal coastal or anything else. They look like you looking at them side by side. You're like, that one looks weird. That one's silvery kind of a thing. So
yeah. My adult hats are very much silver and gray and white, but distinct enough from a true visual. So, but it's like, to me, that's just because I've had normal tigers. I've had and do have a normal coastal who's, kind of yellowish, ivory, whatever, but it's different, and it's definitely different. So I have to think that the recessive thing kind of doesn't hold water, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's just, unless it's one of those things where like the recessive shines through, but I don't know, man. That I don't know.
And also, like, dude, I mean, I've produced more caramel clutches than I can count, and I can pick out caramel like right out of the egg. I'm like, this one I'm going to set aside. Yeah. Xanthic just keeps knocking me for a loop, and it's like, do I want caramel Xanthic that badly that I'm willing to put up with this crap? It's like, well, we'll see, because this will be the year to tell. If I could get a super caramel Xanthic out of the clutch that I got cooking right now, I think I'll be all right.
Yeah,
so
that'll be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I should post up some of the super caramel. I should post up the super caramel girl I kept back from last year, because she's nice. She's cool, and I like the super caramel color. No jag or anything. Just I have one of those that I'm raising up too. That's gorgeous, but I almost prefer the pattern on a straight up super caramel. So, yeah.
I produced, I don't know, 5 clutches of Xanthic stuff.
Yeah.
And I had the same problem. It seems to be the trickiest for me with the pure IJ stuff. I don't know. It's just,
I'll give up if I want to, damn it.
This
tell me what to do.
This thing is a huge conundrum for me. Okay, perfect stripe, all 3 sides, completely perfect.
Keep it.
I'll take it.
Hey, it's almost as nice as the stripe on those hypo stripe brettles.
But this eye is like
your bread light talk.
Eye's not silver enough.
Don't judge it now, dude. Like, you cannot judge it now. You got to wait till that thing puts on some size and sheds a couple times.
Yeah.
Then make that decision, because
this thing's sweet.
I think too many times we judge it immediately, and then you can't backtrack, or you sell it and you regret it. Just wait till it sheds. You should hold back everything that's got a tiger stripe on it.
That's Owen's motto. Wait till it
God
sheds.
damn right. You wait till it sheds and you hold it back.
I definitely
so
plan on
excited
holding
about
everything for
something.
2 sheds at least.
Yeah. I get so excited about it and be like, shut up and wait till it sheds.
Shut up and wait till it sheds. You keep your. What's it going to look like in a year? I don't know exactly. Like it's so, and I do the same thing too. That's why I always have the basic rule of thumb is you keep 2.2 out of every clutch as holdbacks, and then you make the determination within their first.
Wait, when did that rule change? Because I said that way back in the day, and you said I was fucking nuts.
Drag him.
See,
Listen,
I have influenced you.
Listen, yes, you have in a horrible sense. I would want to say the first time I made my mixed clutch is when you broke me. But
yes, I've infiltrated from the inside.
Exactly. If you hold back 2.2, that gives you a chance to pick the girl that you want. And also, nobody gives a damn if after a year you decide to sell holdbacks. The second you be like, I'm selling my holdback, people are like, oh my God, it's something special. Like, it's just, it's the less thing. You're right. It's something special. It came in second place. Like, and that's what I'm selling to you people. I'm keeping number 1. Like, that's, but I feel like holding 2.2 or at least 1.1, if you're really kind of bogged for space, gives you the option of letting stuff go. Because I've had stuff where I get to that year mark and I produce another clutch from the same parents, and now I have a better looking male than the one I held back. And it's like, well, shit, you're out. Like, this guy's taking your place. So,
well, so here's the thing. Both of those females laid super early, and both of those females went right back on food, and both of those females are freaking bigger than they were last year already.
Yeah.
And I've only fed them twice since.
And to be honest, the easiest way to sell a snake is to show the adults or the siblings. So, like, we're talking full-blood siblings from the year prior.
Dude, these females are robust, bright, healthy, beautiful heads that are nice and silver. I mean, they're stunning in their own right. They're absolutely gorgeous. I have no plans on, like, not using them or, replacing them anytime soon. I definitely want to keep at least 1.1 visuals. I'm thinking probably the smart thing to do is anything that has a really nice stripe or anything that I'm on the fence about as being a visual tiger or not should probably stay until I can confirm, or a situation that should arise with somebody who trusts me, I trust, and can kind of be like, look, I'm not 100% sure. At which point I would only be selling it under the guise of it's probably a het or a pos het, and not going the guaranteed route just to be safe. And then probably putting it somewhere where, I know where it's at, somebody I stay in touch with, and it's not going to be anything that holds any ties that offends anybody some way, And then, with 2 clutches, if the next 6 hatch out, that's 28 babies right there. If any, I know you want some, Owen.
I will volunteer as tribute. Yes.
Lucas hasn't dipped his toe into the coastal pool yet.
We have to
sent
break
mine
him.
to Owen.
What?
I just sent you one.
I should.
It's true.
I should dip one for the hypo.
You should. You can't. If you leave it up to Eric, he'll be like, I don't know. Send him shit, Riley. Just put it in a box.
Yeah. I was going to say, Eric,
none of this crap.
I think what we should do.
Breed 2 hypo. Damn it.
Yeah.
Look how excited he gets when he has a beer.
I think that's the way to go.
Listen, you have all the morphs that I want, so I have to steer the ship in a certain direction.
I think if I was gonna take on a coastal project, I would want to do Brisbane's.
I was gonna say I was gonna guess a locality for you. I would have just guessed that you would have gone locality.
Unfortunately, I only have 1 female, so if you want a pair, you got to jump on this quick. So,
hey, and those are on my list. So if he says no,
I get you.
I guess.
So nobody message Owen.
No one.
But Eric, I'll send you something once I figure it all out. We'll send you something because I've got that possible super hypo tiger coming.
I'm gonna guess for everybody else. So Eric is definitely IJ. Lucas
Wrong.
is definitely what? Silence.
I know what Eric's is.
Silence.
Yeah,
What?
me too.
Jungle? No.
No.
Subspecies.
Wrong.
Fool.
What?
Do you even know me?
We're talking subspecies, not
Wrong.
actual species.
Yeah.
It could be-
Oh,
Mm.
What?
Can I guess Eric's?
Go for it.
Diamonds.
That's not a subspecies.
Well, he said
Uh,
including Brett. Actually, it is.
Sort
Doesn't
of
it
is.
have two names?
Spilota,
or
spilota.
no?
Fucking goddamn it.
Spilota.
You don't even know me.
I don't even
Now,
care.
now, asterisk on that question. If Imbricata were in the States, would that change your
Hey,
answer?
there you go.
Forget it.
He's
Game
like,
over.
fuck these
Wait,
diamonds.
That was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I would get rid of all my carpets for Imbricata.
But
Would
what
just
if
be
you
a house.
got
Wow.
it? What if you
Yeah.
got it and you hated them?
That would never
And
happen.
So
then I would
if
just
he-
rebuild
if-
the collection.
yeah,
we
he'd
would
be
have
like,
to make
well,
sure
Thunderbolt
that he
Pythons.
sends
What?
them to one of us and we just put them in a shed.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just put them in a
Hold
shed,
on,
save
please.
them for when he decides he regrets his decision.
Yeah.
Mine would be
That's what-
Brittles. So,
But
you
then,
know,
but then I
Rattle.
wouldn't send him all of his poison ivies back. I just send him half back and be like, "This is a
Obviously,
tax."
Lucas's Brettles.
Brittles if we're including Brittles, but if we're only doing
I think we're including
subspecies, I
Brettles
think
because if
we'd
we're
do
going to include
I'd do
diamonds, we have to
too.
include Brettles. So
Yeah, that's fair.
Riley, I think, would end up falling onto the Coastal project.
I don't know, dude. I'm a wild card. I think about this all the time.
But I would say Coastal, but I think he has more fun with his jungle shit, especially with the stripes up that he's trying to work out.
Oh,
so,
dude, I forgot that I have eggs in the incubator from that nice female from Todd from my striped animal. 5 eggs have already sweated out and gone funky. So I'm
damn
looking at 13 eggs. 13's still good, man.
between the 4 of us, 3 of us are going to have some really nice jungles coming out this year.
Dude, I'm so excited. If all 13 of these come out with like any sort of good color
What happened to him? What
and
happened
a little
to him?
stripe,
He
he's
just dropped out?
about to get you on
Well, now
something.
you done it.
You got to cry for a minute and then come back. What's up?
He's gonna get you
I did.
now.
I did. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I'll
I'm
get
a patient
you later.
man. That's why I'm the godfather. Your
So.
time will come.
Don't worry.
Time
I'll
will
ruin you
come.
later.
If we're removing Brettles as a non-subspecies, I think my answer would be inlands. Actually, I take back.
All right. Yeah.
That's a
Well, the
tough.
problem is
I
that
need more of those this year.
Inlands and Brettle, I almost feel like are on the same level. So I could see if you
Oh.
couldn't do one, you do the other.
Right.
See,
Yes.
the problem with diamonds is I don't necessarily enjoy the diamond python world. I don't like the whole like.
I love
That was
drama
part of me
of-
changing
oh.
my answer.
Yeah, I don't really enjoy that world. Whereas with inlands and IJs, it's kind of like no drama because nobody really cares except a few people. So
Yeah, and I feel like it's much more about
the animal.
damn,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful animal. Then,
Yeah.
but where's it from? Like,
Well,
you're a
it's
liar.
used as
You're a
inhaled.
liar. He's a liar.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I don't believe you and your crazy insanity
What?
stories. However, my coastal carpet that just showed up on my door from somewhere I don't know from is pure as the driven snow.
Pure as snow.
Incorrect. Anyway, this is 100%. What? No.
Oh man.
And we don't even need to ask. I mean, my thing would just do coastals. I just sit
But
pretty
you
in my
don't even
coastal.
have coastals. What
I
are you
do.
talking about? You have more jungles than coastals, don't you?
No, not right now. No.
Oh no.
Do you
Well,
have,
yeah, that's right. Because Carmel's coastal.
Rockhampton?
My fault.
I do not have Rockhampton. I mean, I talked about this of like I would
I
love
do.
to set up every
He
single
does.
locality of coastal, but I hit this. I forget who did the interview, but they talk about how like Brisbane coastals, like they were worried because it was such compounded sibling to sibling, daughter to father.
That
mother
was
to-
me, you, and Mike last night.
I think so. Yeah. Well, we talked
Yeah.
about it, but there was another.
I
it was
can't
on-
remember the interview.
No, I don't. It all blends together. But I thought this was on THP years ago. Like I forget exactly who was it, but that fucked me up. Where I'm like, I'm not sure if I could do localities. Like in my brain, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, and this one clutch of Brisbane's has been fine, but I am seriously probably going to take my Brisbane male and outcross him next year. I just haven't figured out how I'm going to do that and how I'm going to explain to Nick what I've done and if he will still speak to me. So
see, listen, why
Mm.
are we so afraid to do? I mean, Paul Harris posted up today,
Yeah.
a gelatin bred to a gelatin zebra.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I would
I
like
mean,
to take my Brisbane
Paul Harris
boy.
is really the godfather of carpet pythons.
is,
I know Nick
yeah.
gets all the credit, right? But really, it's Paul's the guy. You know what I mean? He's the freaking guy.
Paul's 5 years ahead of Nick in the pure projects
And everything, yeah.
and he will cross things.
I would like
Yes.
to take my Brisbane male because he's got some nice bright reds and stuff on him. I'd like to take him to one of my tigers
You
and see
should.
what that does.
Yeah, why not?
You should.
So,
You should.
especially
I
because
don't
my
know, man.
female's so small, I don't want her to breed anymore. I want her to take a couple years to grow. It's like Jesus. So, yeah. Anyone here work or have?
They
rough
must
work?
not know you, Owen.
No, no one does.
Nope.
No
Welcome,
one.
Jacob 18.
No,
Welcome to NPR.
no one. No
I
one.
have
My
There's-
name is
two.
Owen
There's
McIntyre,
definitely
and
not
I
in
have
this
a problem
cage
with
back
rough
here.
scales.
Yeah, it's like no one here has roughies.
I
Or
have
rock
inherited
chondros.
Owen's rough scale curse. I'm very
Yeah.
upset that I have inherited this curse. He's passed it along to me in
have
some
to. I
voodoo
think-
magic. I
Yeah.
don't know what he did. I don't know. He took some hair from me at some point
Listen,
and
I had
roasted
to
it on a
stab goat
fire.
to get that thing going. It was. Oh shit!
Uh,
Look how big she's gotten.
Meh, she's in shed.
Oh damn!
Oh yeah, she
That's
did get big.
nice.
Breathies.
Those are also on my list.
She's a little bit smaller
Yeah.
than my smaller girl. I'm hoping to have 2 females to go next year. I'm still holding out hope for the one girl, but she's not in shed. So
I get
I
it
don't
now.
think she's going. So
I just had a thought, Owen.
yes,
The reason that you haven't produced roughies
Yes.
is because I haven't produced hypos.
yes,
And next year when I breed hypos,
yes. I'll produce the roughies, and we
you
can
will
finally have
produce
that
roughies,
trade.
and the world
Yeah.
will
the world
just,
will be level and
we will be
complete,
yes
as it
yes.
should.
We will
Yeah.
be balanced again.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Very good.
Yes, we were
so I will
kidding.
get to
Lucas
work on
has
that.
1. I
2.
have 3. Lucas has 2. I have 3.
Easy.
Eric
baby.
has 1, and Riley has 0.
I did have
Eric,
2.
why would you
one
have
died.
just one? Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
Sorry, I forgot.
And
Sorry.
That is why.
Now my-
that is why.
my-
Lucas.
I'm
My
a
other-
terrible person.
my other one is broke, so I don't know. Yes.
Yep. I would say, luckily, you know a guy, and I'm a sucker for hypos, so you could very easily. Plus, I think I owe you like 12 snakes at this point. Like, it's.
I think
you
you
know.
know. I don't know. I'm not keeping track. Who knows?
I-
We just give snakes away
We just
to
keep
each other. It's
doing
the
this
good
back and
things.
forth crap.
It's all good, man. I'm not. I don't keep track at all, man. I'm not like.
I go over to
Let's
Eric.
write
she's
this
like, "Take
down.
these."
I just gave
Yeah.
him a $500 snake.
Nay. I mean, God,
I'm
dude,
expecting 2 olive pythons and 1 pine snake in return for this.
you don't want a pine snake. That's
No,
not
I
true.
don't.
But it's like. But what's funny is I was checking out.
Lucas, you gonna fill him in?
I was checking out the Angolan Python. Which I got from Eric, and that thing is a beast. Like, she will just keep eating and eating, and she has shed a couple times since I've had her, and she's starting to get that like body type you expect out of an Angolan or a fat bodied snake like a ball python or a blood, and it's really kind of cool. So I'm like, I dig this snake. I really do. And I dig the weird and off the cuff things. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you got the bumpy ball python.
I'm
love
so
it.
happy
I'm
with my
so
bumpy
happy.
ball python.
Bumpy
It's-
rock
happy.
pythons.
The
Bumpy
bumpy rock
rock
python.
pythons.
It's
Because
cool.
all 3 of the ones we have at work are the fucking devil.
She
They
is
all fucking hate me. They're all mean as shit.
her. Listen, Melissa calls her Gem because she's just a fucking gem. So you open that cage, she is coming, and it's like, okay,
Wait,
I
what?
love
The
that.
Angolan?
yeah.
What
Oh,
the
dude,
hell
she's
did you do to it?
I didn't do anything. She's a hungry hippo. Like, it is like that thing is food everywhere, man. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But once you
Okay.
get her out, she's totally fine. But the second you open
Okay.
that cage,
Oh,
anything
okay.
hot
It's just
is
a
getting
feeding
hit.
response. I
Oh,
got
yeah.
Okay.
It's a
The ones at the
huge
shop,
feeding
the ones at the shop are all pissed off because they're all traumatized from me putting them through a quarantine and treatment experience for a few weeks, like vigorously treating them when they first arrived, and they fucking hate everything after that. They're just like
I love
not
it.
down.
I love it because I have her, and Brett just got eggs. And
Yeah,
it's
those things are
another thing.
huge.
I love these off the cuff, weird kind of species because
Yes.
then you know a friend of yours has it, and it's like, oh, dude, you're gonna hook me up, right? Yeah, okay, cool. And then it's perpetuating the species that is a little weird. I'm not gonna take it and breed it to a pastel ball python. I just want more Angolans. Like it's that's all I want.
I
So,
remember when I was young and walking around a reptile show, like one of my first reptile shows, and I saw I think it was one of the NARBCs that were in
the Philly ones, the ones
Philly
in Valley
one.
Forge. Yeah.
I shouldn't. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that was my first reptile show. Anyway,
He couldn't even see over the tables. He was 25.
yeah,
So yeah,
it's very true. It's very true.
25.
Excuse me, sir. Can I have a snake? Where? Oh, like
Hello down there.
Hello down
How you
there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I freaking love those snakes, man. And again, it was like one of those things. I remember looking at that book I talk about all the time, Pythons and Boas, that TFH book thing, and that I bought from Martin's Aquarium, actually, believe it or not. And
God, I wish I was
I don't
more
know.
into
Just
reptiles
the
as a
Angolan
kid, man.
Python was, for one, you couldn't find them anywhere.
No,
Yeah, especially back
No.
then, and they were like, I don't know, so crazy expensive. I mean,
They're
Casey
still-
Lazick was,
I mean, they're
just getting them going. I think at that point,
they're between $800 and $900 now, and the fact that they're like $800 and $900 now, and they've been in herpetoculture for years at this point, and also like Africa didn't like shut down in the 90s like Australia did. Like there were still some, like depending on what the rules were in Angola, I don't know what that whole thing was.
The problem with that species in particular is where they're located.
Yes.
It's like minefields and shit. So you can't like really
sketchy.
go.
Yeah. Okay.
It's sketchy. Some imports do come in, but they're all from like an area where a lot of the original stock already came from. So it's
right. It's the only place you can get to them.
But then otherwise, Africa imports, you get Madagascar, you get North Africa, you get, maybe one or two other places, and how many people have contracts for that? Like, it's really seldom.
I would be surprised. Riley, like speaking of Madagascar, like, do you think that that's going to shut down anytime soon? Because I feel like we have these waves with Madagascar where they import everything like crazy, and then some sort of either the government changes or they realize that this thing is like not going well, or like they're picking off too much, and the government just slams the door shut. And we don't see a lot coming out of Madagascar for a while. And then a couple years later, it starts opening the floodgates and we get a ton more. So
I think it's opening back up again. I think we'll be seeing more of it again.
I needed to close down. I'm doing well.
What you're going to see more of is the stuff that's easily collectible. I don't think you're going to see like rare locality leaf tails or rare locality chameleons. You're not going to see a ton of hognose. I don't think you'll see a ton of everything. You know what I mean? I just think you'll see a little bit. It's tough, man. COVID definitely threw a wrench in the gears. The shipping is 3 times as expensive for every party involved.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say.
I have to remain hydrated, Lucas.
He's been sweating all day watching blackhead eggs.
The only thing that
What
would
do
be
you want
better,
from me?
the only thing would be better is if Lucas was sitting there with that giant jug and it was like a crazy straw with at least 2 bends in it. Where it was like, what is happening here? So,
I bring this to work.
On the early morning of the herp trips when I get my coffee. I'm just
Lucas, Eric, when he's really not doing well, he holds the coffee like a little old lady. He's just kind of like, this is what keeps me alive. It's like,
yes,
I
my
need
life
this to live.
fuel.
It's like, I'm like, hey, buddy. He's like, don't Don't speak. No
Look,
speaking
it,
from you. Like I can't deal with
Yes.
you yet. Like, be quiet.
It presents a timeline for you so that you can drink a gallon a day. I'm behind.
Oh, keep it
Why would
going
you
then.
drink a gallon of water a day?
That's what I do, and that's why I am
'Cause it's
so
healthy.
Great.
Well, that's annoying. First
That's why
of
he
all,
has flawless skin, Owen.
that's why he's got that. That's why he's got that. Just
That's
we
the
look
secret
old and
to breeding blackheads, right
that's,
there.
oh, that's the secret to bleeding blackheads is
Yeah,
peeing
a
every
gallon
5
of
minutes.
water
I
a
got it,
day.
yeah.
I do pee every 5 minutes. Yep, that I do.
I have a catheter in right now. What? No, buddy. Like, it's-
Adult diapers make podcasts possible.
sacrifices
Yeah,
must be made for the
Brought to you
podcast.
by Depends.
Whoa.
Riley, can I share
So-
that picture you sent earlier
Riley,
Yeah.
what did you
real
do?
quick?
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Oh.
that. dude.
Yeah.
Oh. Those are coming
makes
out
me so-
nice.
Dude,
And they're-
That makes me so
they don't
happy.
even photograph well, man. That shit should be like plugged in and turned on.
They're almost at that, you know, that
Oh.
size that carpets get when they're not, I think it's like around like 2 years old, where all of a sudden they start to get like about 2 foot, 3 foot. And all of a sudden it's one of those, you open the bin or the cage and it's just like, oh God, oh my eyes. Like, oh,
Yeah, that's where they're at.
Where'd my snake go? And what's this gorgeous thing laying here? Like
Yeah.
they hit that color
Yeah.
mark where everything just explodes.
I'm starting to like them more, Riley.
You got to see them in person, dude. I can't get a photograph well. The closest I've done was when I took them outside a few
Mine
months
This
was
is
ago.
a
photograph.
lesson in patience for me because when you first hashed them out, I was like, "Wow, I'm really happy for you," but they looked like flesh, you know. Like now they're getting color. They're getting color.
Riley,
and-
why are you
and-
holding that chewed bubble gum?
I-
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
oh, that's a snake. Weird.
Now I can see how it's gonna turn into holy shit.
Well,
land.
it's funny because they were both in shed for the last like week and a half, so I haven't seen heads or tails in them. I was like, yeah, they're probably in shed. And I check on them today, and I see a shed in there, and I got really giddy, and I was like, open the next one, I saw a shed in there. They got really giddy, and then I forgot, and I came back later, and it was doing cleaning. I was like, oh shit, oh, and I opened it, and I just went, dear Lord, where's my phone?
When do albinos start getting? Because it's like albinos do this thing where they're like kind of like white, like pinkish,
Yeah.
kind of off white, and then eventually they just start getting white and yellow and stuff like that on them. When does that start? Because I think that's going to come out of nowhere and shock the hell out of you.
I don't know. These things are fucking pink and orange and yellow, dude.
Yeah, no, they're
So
starting to get.
I
they're starting
guess
to
we
get
should.
Say what it is.
I guess we
yeah,
should
probably.
tell people what we're looking at. So in case of the
Oh,
other
yeah.
podcast,
Oh, it's an
people,
audio medium,
go
right?
ahead.
Shit.
Yeah, that's a caramel albino citrus tiger, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
Oh, they're so nice, dude.
I mean,
They're
Eric
so
was
nice.
talking about, citrus tiger
That would be me,
albinos
Eric. Yes.
for a while. Like that was something he wanted to do forever. And that's just
Yeah.
to get some really good color into albinos. And I think you could. I mean, especially with
Have you seen them over at Eric's house yet, Owen? Have you seen that one yet?
not for a while.
The one that he has?
Nah, I haven't seen them in a while.
No, you haven't seen the. No, you didn't see him at all.
No. Oh, all right. Oh
Yeah.
no, yeah, I
It
did.
was
They
the-
came to my house before I dropped them off at yours.
Good point.
Because you sent it with the Mandarin and everything else.
Hang
Yes,
on.
I saw it. I delivered it to him.
Okay. Oh, that's right. So
Owen,
I'm
Owen is my FedEx.
yeah.
I'm curious what Hypo will do down the line with that. I'm curious what pulling the caramel out will do and just having the head to head, because that's what I'm going to do this year with that male you sent me, the citrus tiger het male, from that different look. So not having something else, and then and yeah, I just want to see what Xanthic will do with it down the line as well. So make some snow citrus tigers. Right now, with the way these caramel albino citrus tigers are looking, that's a fucking mouthful. And I every time I open them, I'm like, it looks like candy. I'm just gonna call them candy tigers for short now because that's way easier to say.
He's renaming your line already, dude. It's one generation in, and he's taking it for his own. God,
I like
it.
But yeah, I think about it a lot because I've dabbled in some of those, mixing projects over the years to see like what just the combination of the homozygous forms of certain things look like with, and this is the one that stuck around. And so to me, I figure like, well, I'll play around with this a little bit more. And so those are a couple more of the avenues I'd like to play with.
Would you consider crossing those to an Exanic Tiger?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. 100% I would.
That's
and
a jungle
here
morph.
we go.
That's a jungle morph. I'm
That
told.
there's pretty, but somebody needs to clean that water bowl there.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. So my feeling is that if you take red and you put it with the citrus tiger, you're going to get an animal that looks like this. I think.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to try next year. And when I do something like
I think
this,
you could.
Yeah, I want to see how that looks because I don't have any red tigers and not for any reason other than I just don't have any red tigers. I have nothing against them. I think anything with a stripe on it and any variation of color is beautiful. So
I'll tell you straight up, because I saw this animal or its ancestor when Balin had it at Hamburg. It looked like a red coastal, straight up. And then the red coastal, and that's what he had it as, and that's what Wilbur bought it. And I know it kind of progressed into something. I'm not sure. I think this is the super, which he bred the two red jungles to each other. And that's when he got this thing. But again, it's one of those things where the baby looked nothing like it did when it turned like 2. So I would think Eric's probably right on point where this would kind of have the same kind of color and blushing, but I think citrus colors have more. They have more. Like there's more oranges, there's more yellows, there's more everything else. So I want to say that it would be like this, but almost add different blushing on the sides.
Yeah.
So
yeah. that thing's a weird conundrum.
Imposter.
Lucas.
I didn't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I think what I'll do down the line, Owen, is put an Exanthic Tiger.
Your main focus that I want you to do, man, is I want you to take like your best looking. There's a tiger.
Look at that.
I want you to take your best looking freaking Exanic Tiger and cross that shit with that hypo. I think you could make some insane ghost.
Well, so that hypo tiger I'm getting is a male, so I'll be putting him with a female. But what I should do is make this Exanthic Tiger quite productive with whatever it takes, because this is that knockout.
Yeah. Yeah, and as much as I want to see that happen with like ghost tigers, refinement in Exanic Tiger has just started. Like we have not even hit where we could go with those kind of things.
I mean, in all honesty, who else is making Exanthic Tigers? Like I was trying to think about it. Who's making them? Well, in the States, I mean, like
probably Todd, because I know he's not really vocal about what's going on with him and Carrie. So I would not be surprised if Todd just comes out in the next 2 years with Exanic Tigers. But as far as that goes, my project stalled because I can't get my het Exanic Tiger to breed. But Ryan is doing them
Dumas.
too. Dumas, yep.
Yeah, he's got a stripe.
He's been building that project for a while. So I think in the next couple of years, he's really going to start hitting that. Other than that, dude, I think nobody's really pushing too much because they kind of tiger morphs are weird. People kind of sit back on their haunches until somebody does all the heavy lifting, and then they immediately run out and grab all the good-looking tigers. Like, people didn't grab a shit ton of hypos and breed them to their tigers. They waited for like Nick and Jason to do it, and then they just scooped up the hypo tigers. Now we're starting to see this, like the really good looking, perfectly striped hypos. And that's what people are going to buy. because
Yeah.
now they can just take that and plug it into any other tiger project or even any other jag project.
Yeah.
So that's
Well-
where it goes. So I don't think people are going to start jumping into Axanthic tigers until it's a 3-striped Axanthic. That's
Well,
what everyone wants.
unfortunately, people are going to have to either wait for lots of visuals to become available or buy some heads and do some work themselves, because there's only a handful of people that I can think of outside of
And
people you named.
Yeah.
There's not many people working the project. I don't know
and
why.
People will wait because it's like the same thing goes with tigers. Like you could grab a tiger and a coastal and make it yourself, or you could wait for me to breed my 2 tigers together and then just buy my tigers. Some people are picky about tigers, so
Which is fair. I'm all for cherry picking good quality, but I mean, if you're willing to sit around and wait 5 years for the right animal to come along, you might as well buy the ingredients and make it yourself.
I think you should wait 5 years if
I
you
think you
really
should do
want the
both.
project. Okay, yeah, all right. Well, let's put it this way: if you're willing to work on the project, you should get the shit now and work it.
Yeah.
If you have a picture of the perfect animal in your head and that's what you want, wait, and then get it when it comes. Is that Satch?
That is probably my favorite snake. That's the founder of all my citrus tiger stuff. I love that snake.
You don't need perfect stripes on the sides.
You
to
don't
have a beautiful
You can
snake.
make it. Yep.
Look at those clean, beautiful portholes.
Yeah. This is the dam to Riley's citrus tiger head albino that produced that one that we looked at earlier.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Nice.
I love that snake. I
There's
don't
always-
care if it's pure, not
I don't give a
pure.
rat's
I
ass.
don't give a shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing's badass. Every time I see that I have to double take and see is that one mine or Eric's?
Yeah, I would say
Hey, yeah, you're probably the closest one to look like her.
Which is crazy
that-
because it has 50% Darwin blood in it for sure.
Yeah.
That's a trip.
I would say there's something about taking a project that takes several years to produce and then finally getting that animal that you've been chasing is hella awesome. That's just fucking great. It's really cool. And and it also I think feels a lot better than just buying the animal and being like, I got this one and I got this one and I crossed them together and I got those. Cool.
There
trying
is
to get to that point
so much more satisfaction out of making it yourself.
I mean, this year what's really cool is that I bred a caramel tiger that I produced to a super caramel jag that I also produced. And I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. Because I know that both of them have thrown great shit. And that's the thing is every year I'm like, hey, it's just another caramel clutch. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep this one and this one and this one. And then it's like, oh, shit. So it really does help to kind of see also what you've produced to kind of see how you can branch off into different projects in different ways.
Yep, absolutely.
100%.
Morphs.
Fine.
Great contribution, Lucas.
Fine. We're not talking about morphs anymore.
Oh,
You
whatever.
have-
He has
Hey,
all the
that's what
Brettles
I'm about to say.
morphs.
You have what?
I'm kidding.
How many
I'm
morphs?
kidding.
Yeah, how many genes are crammed into your breadline? Shut up.
2.
that
3.
you know of or more.
I'm just
Hypos,
tossing, guys.
multiple.
It's like a hypo het
please.
stonewash stripe.
Hey, guys, knives down. Just joshing.
Knives down.
One couch of blackheads and he loses his mind.
All right, Cleve.
Oh,
Okay. I am disappointed in you though that your only Cali Kings are morphs. That's just
he doesn't live in California. You
Yeah,
can't hang that over him.
but that's why I'm upset. I have to have a permit to make those. You can do whatever you want with them.
At one point, young Owen did have
you
several
need a
Cali Kings
permit?
of all different colors.
Yeah, it's $70 for the native wildlife propagation permit for
Damn.
kings, gophers, yada yada.
Oh, okay.
I had a ton of Callies and I got rid of them, and then I actually didn't have Callies for a while, and then I scooped up my pair of striped lavenders, and they've been good, but they're an older pair because they'll lay a clutch of 10 and then one egg will survive and the rest will just bomb. And I'm like, I should probably replace those, but not brought myself into doing it. So,
Right.
yep.
I like snakes.
Good job. Good, Lucas. That's good.
I'm gonna go see if there's any more babies hatching. I'll be right back. If there are, I'll share with you
I'll
guys.
be gone.
I'm gonna
now.
go see
I'll
if
be
my
back.
blackhead
What?
laid an 8th egg.
No. I was gonna bring the egg box in here if there is anything worth
It's
sharing.
all right. Lucas just left, and now he's going to check on his blackheads. You can go check on that. And Eric and I will have a makeshift NPR episode right
How
here, right
long
now.
do I wait to see if she's done?
I mean, what's she doing? Is she wrapping around
That's
him?
a good question.
No, she's still kind of. Well, she was still for a long time, and now when I went over there, she was doing like a, like jerking.
Leave her be,
Okay,
because if she, like, dude, if she's
I
not
can't tell
coiled,
if there's another one.
exactly. If she's not coiled around them, she still might be going.
There might be another one in there.
Right?
Hmm.
No, this is not a bad thing. That means there might be another egg. This is good.
Oh,
There you go. Like, yeah. I want them now. No, you want to wait.
I'm just saying it'd be good television.
It's fine. Just video it. We'll throw it up later.
My walls are closing in only a little bit. There's a
Mm.
baby Kim in there now. There's 2 Kims now.
Yeah, I mean, can we do we have a
Oh, wait,
picture of what
you got
Lucas's snake room looked like the first episode to like
There
what
was
it is
it
now?
was my bedroom, dude. There was
Yeah.
a bed in here. There was all my guitar stuff, a dresser. like-
slowly, it's just been adding on top of.
Hello?
What happened?
That was a weird blip.
That was a weird blip.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Audience, are you still with us?
No one's here. Everything dropped. Yeah.
Comment Owen is our Lord and Savior if you're still
As
here.
I mean, as the paperwork shows that was sent to me earlier,
Did you like that paperwork?
it was so dumb.
You didn't chuckle?
It partially chuckle, partially go, what is wrong with him? Like, there's several things of like, why, Lucas, why? Yeah.
I tried. We got one.
One.
No, Pucciano,
No,
Worthless
no.
Morphs, that's not the instructions. Jason. So anyway,
Oh man.
Eric,
Yeah.
how are your diamonds and inlands looking?
Yeah, she looked. I mean, both of them look fat. They look like
Nice.
they're, going good. It looks like they're building up they're building something. I don't know.
They're doing
Feed
something in
them.
somewhat. Like it's
Hey, I got something that we can. This is sort of a behavior thing. Me and Owen were talking about it last night, but it would be cool to just have sort of a round table about it. Right? See what your thoughts are. All right. So, did you have any babies, Riley? Or
No,
did
no,
you
they're
ju-
all
oh, no.
sitting
Okay.
with their heads and the eggs staring at me like, go away.
do you want to do the
Okay,
do the prehistoric pet thing and just rip them out of the egg on camera?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Weird.
So I've been noticing that. I think I sort of said this before, but like diamond python I have upstairs, I have an ectoterra, right? And I feed it, right? For 3 days, it will basically go and hunt and change positions within the cage, right? And it's done this, I think 5 times, maybe something like that. So like do it for like the first 3 days after it ate a meal. I was talking to Rob about it, and we're going back and forth. And there was a paper that Lucas, you're going to help me out here because
Okay.
I'm probably going to jack it up. But there was a paper with Burmese pythons, and basically was talking about how their system kind of shuts down when they're not digesting, and then it will kick back in gear and they start to eat. But it takes a lot of energy to sort of get that going and up and get it going and ramped up. So thought is that is that diamond python sort of trying to take advantage of as many meals as it can so that before it could digest, so that it's making it worth the effort that it's putting into it. What are your thoughts?
I see what you're saying. That
That-
pay before pumping kind of situation.
makes-
that's how Zach says it. Yeah.
What it makes me think of is on the recent episode of Colubrid and Colubroid Radio, they were talking about how they found a rubber boa under a board or something with a nest of mice, and the first day there was like 10 mice. 2 days later there were 7 mice. 2 days later there was 3 mice. 2 days later they were all gone, all the babies, and it was within a matter of like 5 or 7 days that this boa gorged and ate everything, and then left and seemingly, digested, and then left and found somewhere else to go sit and wait. So to me, that speaks of a bust and boom cycle where, an animal is going to eat. And so that would lend itself to that hypothesis. The other thing that it makes me think of is right after you feed a snake, there's like that 24-hour window where it is ravenous, where like it's sort of still in that hunting mode for like the rest of the night and the next morning sort of deal.
Sure, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It makes me think of that too, like to take it to Aussie Python land. There's a Herp Review article where there was a roadkill blackhead with 3 feral kittens in its stomach, like packed full. So clearly, the thing stumbled across a den or something, and
to be honest,
on mammals.
That's how I feed my. I mean, that's how I feed my speckled hognose. I have 2. One eats normal, just one mouse. The other one will not eat one mouse. It doesn't like chasing live food. What it wants is for me to put like a bowl full of live rat pups, like 10, 12 at a time, and it will eat all of them. And then the next reptile show I go to, because I don't breed rats, I'll buy another like 8 or 9, 10 or 12 rat pups, and they'll eat all those. So that's what it does, and that's how it eats. It's a nest raider, and I've heard that's what people do with the burrowing pythons, the Calabar burrowing pythons, that they need to stumble across a nest, gorge themselves, and then they don't eat until they find another one.
I guess I think, like, to a certain extent, it's hard to sort of like, because they are opportunistic, right? They're going to take advantage of the opportunity that's put in front of them. But I don't know. It just made me think: is it a different way of looking at cycle feeding? And being able to feed multiple items and not look at it as power. So, like for me, it was like a taboo to sort of like feed multiple times, right? Because I always thought of that as like power feeding.
Right?
I think if I'm looking at the cycle of the behavior of what I'm seeing with this particular snake, right? Because we're all talking about different kinds of snakes, and that really kind of like changes things as far as like prey, how they feed on their prey, and how they are they ambush predators? Are they actively hunting? I mean, all of that sort of changes from species to species. But like specifically talk pythons are they looking to get the most? Because at the end of the 3 days, that's when the snake goes into the hide, and what I would say stays there for the next 4 or 5 days. Probably my thought would be to digest. The only time that I really see it come out would be in the early morning. It goes up to the hot spot. It's there for about, I don't know, maybe an hour or so, and then it goes down, and then before the light goes off again, it will go back. That seems to be a behavior that I see a lot with diamond pythons, and how they cue in on that, I have no idea. That amazes me. But
I would say, I don't know, a lot of cycle. I think the thing of power feeding was like 2-3 times a week year round. It would be like power feeding. I think if you fed heavy for a certain amount of time and then turn the spigot off, it wouldn't be considered power feeding. Like,
right.
So
this is what the animals deal with. Like we've talked about. My favorite is the spider-tailed viper. It only eats when the birds migrate through the mountain area where it's at. So for a good 2 weeks, it's nailing birds like every other minute, like as many birds as it can eat, because they're gone until they come back around,
like
which
the,
is months away.
That's like I think it's a red-bellied black snake that's on that island, on an island, and they're eating the mutt birds. Yeah.
Yep, mutton birds.
So-
Same
Mutton
thing.
bird.
I feel like that kind of cycle feeding where you're feeding heavy
Yeah.
for a while and then shut it off. It isn't that bad because that's honestly how I think a lot of people do corn snakes and other colubrids is when they come up at springtime, they're heavy feeding 2-3 times a week, and then they lay their eggs and then they slowly taper it off, and then they're off from like fall till spring. There's no food. So
You remember when K Brothers were pretty active on YouTube like 8, 9, 10 years ago? You remember that bit that Denver did all on frequent feeding, and he showed off blackhead, albino blackhead, olives, and I believe some Morelia offspring over the course of at least 1 or 2 videos talking about frequent feeding. And he did discuss the comparison that people have made between that and like power feeding. And I've always understood power feeding as every 5 days hitting that snake with a big meal, just like boom, 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 boom. But the K Brothers they demonstrated this with blackheads and olives and these pythons that they have over there. Granted, these are a little more slender bodied animals. So I think, I think it would show obesity a little bit faster, maybe in some of the adults, but they were hitting these animals with smaller, more appropriately sized, easier to digest meals every 3 to 4 days. So if we're talking a yearling blackhead or something that's like bigger than your thumb around, they're giving that just a small little pup, but every 3 days. And that thing is just boom, boom, boom. The only thing that seems to, in my mind, be detrimental in that approach is that you're essentially running the battery 100 miles an hour full speed. So yeah, you can get a female up to damn near mature breeding size in 18 months to 24 months, but she's not going to live to 10.
I think that's one of the things where it's like, because I mean, in my past, I fed my pythons 2 times a week when I first got into this stuff, because that's just what I felt like you had to do and stuff like that. And
Look at Eric.
But like, what if that's okay for like the first?
It's like I said, it's probably fine for maybe the first year. But
yeah. What if like that's normal? Like naturally, what if that is normal for that first year that animal is foraging? That's all it can physically take on is smaller meals. So it's going to take as many as humanly possible. So it comes on an adult mouse. Well, I can't take that adult, but I'm going to snatch all these babies.
Right.
I don't know.
I would say that
I
feeding the consistent size meal like 2 times a week. I mean, let's put it this way. There's a reason that out of my first 10 original carpets, there's only 2 left. Like,
yeah.
Come
no,
on.
100%.
And
I definitely think there's a line. I think there's a huge line where if you cross it, you've done irreversible size damage, liver damage, organ failure damage. I 100% attribute the fact that female jungle of mine that was only like 10 years old, 9 years old, died from organ failure. She bled out of her cloaca. Seems pretty systemic.
And that Talon and Trinity are even still alive is because they got put them on a crash course diet, and they slimmed down so much that now they're just massive animals that are slim carpets. Like, but they still eat jumbo colossal rats.
Yeah,
they don't eat them every week.
Wouldn't you want that system to sort of be in that mode though? I'm not saying you want the system to be in the mode constantly all the time, right? But if you're not feeding for X amount of months a year, right? Wouldn't that sort of, am I only thinking that would sort of negate that whole thing if you're offering food? So meaning, this would be my thought, right? You would say, okay, if I see that snake in that perching mode, I'm going to offer it a prey. I'm going to see that. So I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to try it and see what happens to see if the behavior changes. See if I hit it with 3. And remind you, right? They're eating this. This is like a yearling snake eating like crawler. You know what I mean? So it's a small meal. So I'm hitting it. If I hit it like the 3 nights and then it goes and digest, is that healthier? Because then remember, come come fall, they're not eating.
Right. It
Yeah.
stops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean? Where like
I think it's
you
worth
guys might do
studying.
it differently. You know, I don't know.
I mean,
don't know.
I still
I
stopped
was just
feeding in the
curious.
I still stopped feeding in the fall. It's just I used to do shut off food in October. Now because
Yeah,
you know it doesn't get cold anymore, I usually don't stop feeding until December.
So I guess the question would be, and maybe this is a
Yeah.
question, maybe you can chime in here, Lucas, of your thoughts, but
Mhm.
is it better that the system goes up and down constantly, right? Or
Or
it
is it
stays
up
up and then it
and it
goes
goes down?
down, stays for a little bit, back up, and then comes back down.
But how long does it take for it to go down? Like, is it 14 days enough for it to
I don't know.
go up and go
Who knows?
down, or is it still
Well-
kind of on gradually going down? Like, hasn't gone all the way down yet?
I think this is a good point to also say it's going to be different for every freaking species.
Right.
Right.
And so in terms of
we're all
all
kind
this,
of
we're
talking
talking
about
boas and
species, right?
pythons. You know,
Yeah.
like colubrid,
Right.
colubroid, different story.
Separate end. Yeah.
They're garbage disposals that are tube shaped.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not, doesn't matter.
And it's interesting, right? Like it's kind of a hard concept for us to grasp, especially like newer folks
Hmm.
that are like, wait, why don't I just feed, the snake every time it looks hungry? Like,
Mm.
Because it's not
Um,
going to stop.
yeah,
Because it doesn't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It doesn't know when the next food is coming, so it's
Right.
always going to keep looking.
I
Like,
guess-
yeah.
but the point being that's foreign to people that aren't
It
in
is,
this
yeah.
world. So like
Yeah.
at the retail shop, I've been trying to explain boas and pythons more as like a candle,
Mm.
and every time you feed it, you're lighting the wick. It needs food, but at least in adulthood, keep in mind that that's taxing.
I don't understand why it's that foreign of a
Yeah.
concept. Because, like, I'm pretty sure if I walked near where I keep my dog's food, he'd be like, oh, like, it's like, oh, am I getting a scoop? And I have to be like, no, you're not getting fed right now.
Right.
It just stretch that out. It's not like every couple hours, it's every couple days. So,
Well, I mean, look, clearly humans aren't very good at understanding
Yeah, there's a reason
metabolic
that,
health,
see
especially in
those-
America.
there's a reason you see those videos of the
Easy.
dachshund that has to get along with like move along on a skateboard because it's been fed every 2 hours.
Sure,
Yeah.
you went to
Damn,
fat dogs.
take
I'm
shots
talking
left
about
and
fat
right.
I
people.
did go to fat dachshund.
I'm talking
I
about
went-
fat people.
I went directly to fat dachshund. Yeah.
Why would we, when the majority of this population is
it. I'm
obese
leaving.
and not going to live very long?
I
Why
will
would
not
we
sit
think that
here
the
and
snakes
allow
would?
you to badmouth
I had a bacon
wiener
double
dogs.
cheeseburger and garlic cheese fries earlier. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
What's
Fat
happening?
people over
Yeah.
here.
We
I
burn
mean,
our
I-
own
And what
shit
did you
out.
have
Forget
on
the
it?
snakes.
Grilled
secret
onion.
Why?
Grilled
Why the
onions.
caramelized
That's why
onions?
Lucas.
Why
patched-
the grilled and
Blackheads
caramelized onions? Why is that a thing? Explain yourselves, people.
Because I wanted Lucas to hatch out blackheads.
Wait, what was Owen's question?
Why caramelized onions? Why is that a thing?
Because they're the
delicious
best
and they
food.
make everything better.
I understand that is their purpose, and trust
Just
me, I'm from
because you gained
Philadelphia.
them
I get
because
it.
of your sensitive insides doesn't mean that the rest of us can't enjoy the deliciousness, goodness
Yeah.
of caramelized onion.
I'm
Yeah, Owen,
better
why don't you
now. I
ask your
can do
gallbladder
things.
about that? Oh, wait, you can't.
That's just listen, that got extracted. I'm good now. But damn.
Sorry, that was unnecessary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the violent
I guess
the
it's,
protectiveness of caramelized onions. Jesus.
Caramelized onions,
That's
red,
right.
red onions.
very sensitive. It came herping
didn't
with us
know.
every once in a
Wow.
while. Maybe you would know.
Whoa. I am not contractually obligated to be here. I show up because the interns pout and they're like, "Will you please come, Mr. McIntyre?" Yeah.
It's only me. Riley doesn't.
It is. Riley
yeah.
does nothing.
I just send funny memes.
Yeah.
You elevate me,
We do.
Owen. You give me something to do.
Stop sucking up. You're already ahead of Riley.
No, you already fired him twice this
I
week.
fired you multiple times too.
Not this week.
God.
Good
You know
point.
he only
Good
fires
point.
you when he loves you. Dad,
Damn.
fire me again. Dad.
They figured it out, did they? Ah.
Wait, you
They
didn't
did.
fire me when we were talking albino or exotic tigers.
Because I need you. I want the exotic tiger.
Because he wants that.
Raise your
Yeah,
hand.
I'm not gonna fire you till I get them. Yeah.
All right. Raise your hand if you've bred blackheads.
At the shop.
No.
No. If breeding mice at the shop doesn't count, breeding blackheads at the shop doesn't count. You, sir,
You
have
can't have it both
hoisted on your own
ways.
petard. Like, yeah, no.
So I think we have therefore settled the intern ranking.
Also, you've got the eggs, buddy. You got to hatch them.
I know.
Yeah.
Ah!
Hey, family program.
What will the children think?
No,
This
you're
is
right.
true.
Owen. You're right. I regret
We've ruined
that.
that a long
should.
time ago.
Yeah. I
Bad
want to say in the
karma.
beginning, in the first
Bad.
couple of years of NPR, we actually had like ratings, and Lucas like, and Eric's like, you gotta chill. We're gonna get an R rating really quick, and we eventually got there after like half of season 1, and it's just like, yes.
Ooh,
Boom.
Richard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes. Uh-oh.
On that note,
Oh my God, everyone's
Well,
fired after that.
Anyway, that was food for thought. I don't know. I'm gonna dig more into that Burmese python paper and sort of, I don't know.
It would be fun to
what's
observe
what, but-
and kind of see what happens, because this is a diamond that you see every night just because you're sitting. It's in your living room, so why not?
Yes.
See what you observe. You know.
It's quite
Yeah.
enjoyable having a snake in your living room that you can just watch and see
I
these
know.
things that you would never see, So,
My rhino male came out of the hide that I put on the ceiling because that was the greatest addition and mistake, because now they never leave the hide, so I don't see them anymore. But he came out to explore because I started putting like hanging plants in there, and he was checking that out today. So
Cool.
I thought that was cool. It's fun to watch.
Speaking of food, I'm going to share this carpet python picture that I found on as I look for locality type carpet pythons, and there we go. I don't think that's going to eat another meal.
It
I
hasn't
don't see
loaded
it yet.
It hasn't loaded yet.
I don't see it yet.
It's not
Sure
there
thing.
yet.
I don't
It's
see it.
it- there.
Ah,
Holy shit.
Wow. Okay. That's yeah.
What
What did it eat? A human child?
My God.
I think it's somebody's pet.
I mean, that thing ate a dog. Like, oh my
I
God.
hate Roxy.
That looks like about the size of Roxy, man. Yeah, exactly.
No.
It really
That
does.
is a Dexter-sized lump. Like, Roxy is small. My Rita could take Roxy and
That's
still
still
look for food. Dexter is
Yeah.
a larger dog.
Yeah, that's crazy.
wider.
That's crazy.
But
So this was in just somewhere around Brisbane. There's I want to say it's I saw it on Brisbane Snake and Catchers.
it's so
What do you call
weird
it?
that
Instagram
like
page.
the wild ones will take that giant ass meal that like that thing's got to that must lay up that snake for at least 2 weeks as it digests that big of a thing.
Mhm.
And like I'm concerned about feeding mine like a large rat versus a medium. Like that's too big for it. It's like
Well-
no.
I want to see if
So
that
I
thing
think
breeds
this-
later on.
right.
It's
Yeah.
good
Here's
for the
the
rest
thing.
of the year.
This would be my fault with this, right? I think that there's multiple ways that a python can approach the I don't know how else to say this other than approach feeding, right? Because they're in the wild and they can regulate themselves to be able to
Right.
do whatever. We're the ones that are offering food, so they're going to get when it comes. But like the thing that I'm trying to figure out in my head, and I don't know if I will ever be able to figure this out, or anybody will, is like what really is what's really going on that because clearly there's different ways to do it, right? Because some of these snakes, python, I mean, think of African rocks, they're eating gazelles, and you know what I mean, scrub pythons are eating wallabies and shit, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's but I'm always going back to that water python that we found in Darwin, Eric. That was like the size of my breeding female olive pythons. Like it was a massive animal.
Yes.
And we know it was a massive animal because it was living in the botanical gardens where nobody could get at it. And all it could do all day was just eat and ace the possum little things that were running around. And that's how it just got huge. Now, is that a breedable, healthy animal? Probably not. Like that thing is probably
You don't
not
think
going to
so?
breed. I don't think so. When is it going to find if that thing was a male, find a female that it can breed with? Like, but it's control. It's the biggest animal in its territory, and it's handling things that way. So,
But
I
isn't it
think
going to win all the combat if it's
always
a male?
all the combats? But I kind of feel like certain animals will, if there's food and opportunity and all that stuff, they're not going to stop. They're just going to keep going. That's why our animals are always looking for food, even if we're not feeding them. Like they're always going to go for it. So
It's
I
kind of
feel
like how every single night, right, the green trees make their descent
right, and then
down
they
the
just
tree, get in
follow
hunting
lore.
position.
Yeah.
But they might only catch something 5 or 6 times a year.
Right,
But they're going
right.
to try every night.
Every night they're going to try.
Yep.
And there's always that
So I
one that
guess
just
to your
happens to be
point-
really, really lucky or live in a really, really good spot that
Right.
like every night is successful.
And I think we don't think about enough in the wild. Sometimes the prey wins.
Yeah.
Like lab rats are easy
Yeah.
pickings. Sometimes shit gets away.
What is it? When we were herping in the botanical gardens, I was walking around with Gavin, and because they were taking all the pictures of the Darwin that we found, and he and I were talking about because he did his doctoral thesis on Darwins in and around the botanical garden. So he was showing stuff and this and the other thing. He said that he came about on one of the Darwins, and it had a flying fox all wrapped up in it. And he's like, oh, cool. My snake's going to get a nice feed. I'll come back in it tomorrow and I'll check it and put in all the data because it's not going to move. It's going to be full. And he came back the next day and the carpet was dead because the fox bit it on the head and 2 teeth went right into the brain of the carpet. But the fox was dead because the carpet had constricted it and killed it. So they were both gone.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
to the
We've
point
all
where
seen that picture of
right.
some
I mean, to the
snake
point where
trying.
I think Gavin's doctoral thesis, he told me the first chapter or the first page was a table of contents of how all the animals in his study, like weird ways they had died, like, you know, versus like one Darwin was cooked by 2 Aboriginal guys who just happened to find it and grilled it up for lunch. So, you know, and all this other stuff. So I think it's way harsher out in the wild, and prey does win regularly.
Absolutely.
You just brought up a good point, Lucas, that made me think that what I just said was all just bullshit. Well,
I didn't mean
went
to.
out
You
of
just torpedoed my argument. Now, okay.
Well, no. It's good that you said what you said because it made me think in a different way, right? But like the whole idea of snakes going and in the wild, they're sort of geared to try to get prey every night because they don't know when it's going to come along again. So they're sort of just pre-programmed to sort of do that, even if they did have a feed, and they're just gonna do that anyway, right? So the fact that I'm seeing it for 3 nights doing it, it's just it's just gonna do it
doing
because
what
it doesn't
comes
know when
natural.
it's gonna eat again. So it's yeah. So
Well, I mean,
I don't
there's
know.
a
I just
reason.
thought it was interesting. I
Absolutely.
thought it was cool.
I mean, there's a reason that
Maybe
all
it's just because I'm actually seeing snakes.
you're looking at it.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was it? There's a
But
reason that all
It's the cosmic
art
octopus. You'll never know.
There
I'm
it
just
is.
in this.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's
Just
so many
thinking of
things.
young
But-
Bobbert Stone.
Yes,
it's Bobby
yes.
Pebbles to you, sir. But
He called me
Bobby
to have an
Pebbles.
intervention last week.
that's good. Did it work?
Good.
Nope. No, I'm just kidding. Yes.
So, I mean, like, there's a reason you see like tigers and lions and cats that are in captivity. They get that like paunch, like that belly thing that kind of hangs down. It's because the animal does not need to exert a shit ton of energy to attempt to hunt to be successful 1 out of every 5 hunts because the food is just slid through the door at it. So that's something else too, where it's like these animals do not actively have to go and search and set up and fail and do whatever. The food is just presented when it comes around. So we kind of have to work on that as well, where we can't let our animals be successful every fucking time. we have to stretch it out so that it almost is like
Yeah,
they're not.
sometimes I hit
My
mine in
animals
the
are
head with the
usually
rat and
not
then I
Sometimes
take
I
it
walk
back.
in and bash it. Yeah, it's just
Today,
Not today,
you
you.
failed. To exile with you, Obi-Wan.
Not today.
I open the door and
Yes.
just scoot the rat across the table and then close the cage.
No,
so it's,
no,
no,
no.
not today. You missed.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that was good. That was a good close on. I thanks for interventioning me on my crazy thoughts.
No, it's
Yeah,
always
the
NPR
drag.
didn't come out this week because I had an emergency at work on Tuesday. What was it, Tuesday or Monday that we were supposed to
Tuesday.
record?
Apparently, refrigeration is
threw up the-
important. Yeah.
Kind of is in the whole supermarket
Yeah.
business, but so I was going to release it tomorrow, but I thought, why not just wait till Tuesday? But I will put it up for the patrons early. So I wasn't able to go, but it was good that the next episode is the Stolen World review, and it's the Dr. Julander and Bobby Pebbles.
It's
with
one of
Owen.
those things where Eric's not around, so he has to send an attorney and a doctor to babysit me, and I should feel insulted, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where, I don't know. But Justin and I talked about Stolen World for a while, and then Justin had to go, and Rob jumped on. So Rob and I talked about Stolen World, and it's cool because, like, Justin met with Peter Krause, who is one of the people who was involved in Stolen World, and Rob was actually at some of the Daytonas that was talked about in Stolen World.
Yep.
And also Eric and I grew up around Pennsylvania, which is talked about a lot in Stolen World in the areas in Hamburg and this, that, and the other thing. So it's a good book. If you guys have not picked it up, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it, especially if you're into Australian species. So,
and I leave for Arizona in 7 to 8 days, I think. So,
right.
We will.
Sorry, me and Owen just had a moment.
It is. It just happened. It will never happen again.
Now you know what. Yeah. Now I know what he did to the Angolan. Yeah.
Yep.
But so it won't be around to record that week. So it kind of works out. So anyway, that episode will be up Tuesday. But that's what kind of happened.
Yep.
Colubrid and Colubroid Radio turned out to be a real SOB to edit, and it took me a long time.
What did Zach
Holy
do?
hell.
It hurt me so
Oh,
badly.
I don't know,
Did
man.
he
Like,
keep
I don't know
messing
how
up
guys
or
so
what?
smart or so bad with technology. No. It was nothing that just technical difficulties that happened. But it just
Hey, it's good to have
it
some
made it. But
episodes from
you know
now.
what? Yeah, they follow instructions and they do give me very detailed notes. It's very difficult to edit some of the things out, because
They
kind of I don't know.
give all the
But it
detailed
turned out
notes.
well. You would never know.
Right.
You would never
They
know
give all
how
the detailed
well
notes, and I'm just
it was
like,
a great
Eric,
episode.
it's done. Edit. Like,
You listened to it, right, Riley?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
did
good.
as
Yeah.
well.
Seamless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Seamless.
You too, Lucas?
Yes. Well done. It
So anyway,
kept
yeah,
me
it wasn't
occupied in the
so
field.
seamless. It wasn't so seamless from the recording, but
Mhm.
no, Mike Curtin will be out the following Tuesday.
Yep. Mike Curtin.
Um,
So Stolen
but,
World this Tuesday, and then Mike Curtin following.
Here's the thing.
Mm.
For the patrons, I'm going to put both episodes up when I edit, because I'll edit them both, because I'm editing
Oh.
everything before I leave. So I'll
Oh
put
my
them both up.
God.
So if you're a patron member, you'll be able to listen to it ahead of time. But the conversation with Mike was a great conversation as well. He's a good guy, and he has some cool
Nice.
projects.
That was
We talked
fun.
About we talked about things like the pros and cons of JAGs, and should you not work with them, and those kind of things. Because Mike Curtin is one of his main founding projects is the Ocelot JAG. So
Mhm.
just sort of delving into that and sort of having a conversation where I've sort of gotten rid of all my JAGs, whereas Owen and Mike have very specific JAG projects, and just being able to have that conversation with kill each other about not doing the same thing, if you will. So
We also talked
I
about
thought that
like
was well.
he diversified his collection a shit ton the past couple years. We talked about his Caribos, talked about his Argentines. We talked about the Yakapuri depots.
Ooh.
So
So
Oh,
you
he's
really
involved in those?
pulled back the curtain, huh?
He's the founder.
Huh?
Mike Curtin is the founder of the Yakapuris. He was the one who got the
Yeah.
original animals and bred them. And then unfortunately when Naito went through his collection, he lost the founders. But like that's why the problem is that people bought the Yakapuris and bred them to every other tiger. So there's no straight line except for my boy, Eric's girl, and a couple other people who have like one or two animals. So
Right. So yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling about that. I just wanted everybody to know why there was no NPR. So and that's why Owen's here. So it's kind of like a
That
mini
is-
NPR. You know?
yes,
Yeah. So
I come when I'm
Sort of like
contractually
NPR.
obligated to do so.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
So I'll just close out and then you guys can close out. First of all, congrats, Lucas. That's pretty awesome. Congrats, Riley, on your awesome tigers. Congrats, Owen, on all your colubrids. You guys are crushing it this season.
why you gotta break balls? Like it's,
I'm
Yes.
just saying with the facts, man. You crushed
It's true.
hog.
Well,
snakes
that's
this
the
year,
You
problem.
man.
ain't
I mean,
lying.
you
You're
crushed it.
kicking ass this year,
you
dude.
sit there. What's the problem is I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, all these colubrid eggs. It's so horrible. Isn't
but
it?
I
Like,
love
it's
it.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
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 So
You're killing it,
glad
dude.
you guys-
As
I had a-
long as you have
yeah.
warmth in your heart.
I had a plan to breed a shit ton of colubrids and it worked, and now I'm shocked it happened.
Yeah.
So,
there you
yeah.
go. All right. So if you want to support the network and all the podcasts on the network, here are a few ways that you can do it. Subscribe and share to all the different podcasts on the network. There's a flavor for everybody, pretty much. I don't know if this is on other things, but if you go to Apple and you listen on Apple Podcasts, what the majority of people do on the analytics, you can just type in the NPR network and all of the shows that are on the network were up there. I saw that Nick Mutton had posted up please name my podcast post, which I was like, what the
I
heck?
almost comment. I
Guy writes
almost
books
commented.
and he can't pick a name for a podcast.
I-
What's going on here?
I almost commented Morelia Python Radio. No, wait, that one's taken. But I figured I would
Yes.
get in trouble somehow, and I'm like, yeah, no. Like, it was,
Yes. So
The more
that's coming
complete
soon.
carpet podcast.
no, that's
That's good. If you didn't comment that, go do it. Yes.
Where's his
Oh,
comment?
yes.
Where's his post? I'm gonna go
Post
find
now.
that.
Personal Facebook.
The more complete carpet podcast.
Very good.
That was
I'm doing it.
I like it. So you can also check out our website, MoreliaPythonRadio.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at NPR Network. Be sure to subscribe to the NPR Network's YouTube channel and like and share the stuff there as well. If you want to get in contact with us, info at Morelia Python Radio is the way to do it. We also have a Teespring store. Actually, it's called Spring now. But
Oh, what the hell?
What?
we have some swag and merchandise over there. Yeah,
They
they took away the
rebranded?
T. T's gone.
Why is
It's now
everything
Spring.
rebranding to one word?
God damn it. I guess I'm gonna have to rebrand EB Morelia. Boy.
Yes.
Just Morelia.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just Morelia. That's me or EP, one or the other.
It's
you know,
EB.
who
What
knows?
does it do you do? I don't know.
What does this mean? Whatever you want. Emerald boas.
Hit the
Eric
Spring
Burke.
store.
This is Eric's reptile business. Eric, what? Yeah,
He is for
Eric.
Yes.
everything.
Everything.
Exactly. Everything that's beautiful.
Everything
That's
is
what I have
possible.
in my
He is for
collection.
everything Australian.
This is so tricky.
Bert, you know, whatever.
yeah.
Catch a new
and then
episode
finally
of
we have a
E
Patreon.
on the network.
Mm.
There you go. We have a Patreon, and all of the links for everything that you need to go to are in the show notes of all the podcasts. So, yeah, there you go. That's all I got.
Who
Ballers.
goes first? Intern. Do things.
Fellas. CentralianExotics.com.
There you go. See?
www before that if you are on a computer.
How websites work, I'm told, is you put www. It's just
Hush! Quiet, you!
And it's weird. It's coming from the
Holy
youngest
shit.
member of the group.
Lucas, only boomers say WW.
what the hell
Yeah.
is wrong with this? Yeah.
http://
I hear the internet's on computers now.
I
Like
don't
it's
think that you
Excellent.
people understand
EB
just
is
how
for
badly
everything
you all
burnt.
need Brettles pythons. You're running out of time.
I have plenty.
If you don't get these Brettles pythons from me soon, I will.
Feed them to blackhead.
Yeah, what are
I
you gonna
have
do?
a
What are you gonna
deal
do?
with an alien race that needs them for the laboratory. So you have two weeks to get these Brettles before they're gone.
Odd. That's an odd threat. That's an odd threat.
Only two.
Only two.
You only have 2 left?
No, 2 weeks.
Oh. 2 weeks. Oh, okay.
He's
Fair enough.
egg drunk.
Otherwise, I will release them all into the open hills. I've never drank in my life.
Oh, God. We've gone off the rails.
Fuck.
Oh, man.
The other thing I would
Anybody
like to
still
say.
listening to this? You're amazing.
The other thing that I would like to say is that my Aki eggs are approaching day 100. So if you like cool lizards, they're coming.
Oh,
They're coming.
I really want to
Eventually.
put that on a
Interesting.
T-shirt. It's just a clutch of eggs. He's egg drunk. They've broken him. It's just.
And the fun is just beginning, ladies and gentlemen. Follow Centralian Exotic.
God.
you will not have this much
Eric.
fun on this podcast with Nick.
Yeah.
Lucas, that's enough out of you. Riley, please. It's just.
Good night, everybody.
There you go.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Let's
to
go,
the
Mets.
Oh
What?
no!
The
Fuck that!
Mets?
Get out of here!
What?
No, we just beat the Mets.
I can't speak to baseball. I don't.
Don't forget to subscribe to the NPR Network YouTube channel below if you're watching this. Definitely got to get us up to 1,000 subs. Otherwise,
Yeah, we're
for
almost
me,
there.
you can find everything under Riley's Reptiles or on YouTube just under Riley Jimison. Teespring store, Riley's Reptile store.
Someone
and
just turned
that's
the
it.
video feed of Lucas off. Just get him out of here. Like it's just.
I don't have that power anymore.
That's right.
I do. So I'm just
Okay.
going to end it. So good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning
right.
in.
Yeah, that's
Lucas,
enough. You don't need to. Nobody needs to hear from me.